.604 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you, Breland producing, starting you off at 65 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Man, I don't know where to begin today, y'all. It Haggai's out, but we got Rodney Mallett from DOTD stopping by or coming on at 6:35. Some interstate closures you need to know about. We got Andrew Hundley from Parole Project coming in. We've got just a stacked up lineup from top to bottom. So let's get after it. Top stories and trending. Let's go. Speaking of that interstate closure, starting Friday night and running through the weekend, the flyover from westbound I-10 onto the Mississippi River Bridge will be closed from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. Friday night and Saturday morning, Saturday night and Sunday morning, Sunday night into Monday morning. The closure is part of the I-10 widening project. Rodney Mallett from DOTD is going to hop on board at 6:35. We'll talk about detours, where you're going to go elsewhere, and honestly, what's going to be done in the meanwhile while they're working on it, and hopefully get a preview of what's to come, because if we're starting to look at some closures overnight, that means I-10 widening is moving into that whole phase. LSU will cut the ribbon tomorrow on a $148 million science building that university leaders say closes more than half of the school's gap in modern teaching and lab space. The Our Lady of the Lake Health Interdisciplinary Science Building spans 148,000 square feet. It can hold up to 1,150 students, faculty, and researchers at a time. It's going to be housing programs in multiple different disciplines. Louisiana's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Election Assistance Commission after the commission barred Louisiana from implementing a state law requiring those who register to vote to provide information proving they are U.S. citizens. The complaint, filed in federal court in western Louisiana, asks the court to declare that the commission was, quote, getting in the way of the state's sovereign right to protect the integrity of its elections, that according to Attorney General Liz Murrill. 2 people were taken into custody following a raid that occurred as ICE agents were seen at a home on Thompson Road off of I-55. This would be, or from the I-55 service road, I should say. According to protesters at the home, ICE agents went to the home following a traffic stop and had been waiting to be granted a search warrant since 8 a.m., at which time they got the search warrant. They did go in and make the arrests. Take you out to the state capitol yesterday. See Denise Marcel's attempt to add herself to the Breck board got shot down on the House floor. This was a bill that Representative Marcel put forth. She is not happy with the way things are going at Breck, in particular, the selling off of properties. She put her bill out there. The bill actually said whoever is representing District 61 gets the seat on the board. Only thing is, that's her. You can't put yourself on a board. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on as well, but it was when I got to see a little bit of the sausage being made yesterday. I always enjoy when I get to do that. We'll have that chat later on. What do you got?
I am so dang happy that something's being done about this. All right, here's the story. A jury has found that concert giant Live Nation and its Ticketmaster subsidiary had a harmful monopoly over big concert venues, dealing the company a loss in a lawsuit over claims brought by dozens of U.S. states. Hallelujah.
We were one of them, by the way. Attorney General Liz Murrill put out a press release about this yesterday. Where'd it go? You know what? I probably should have had this at the ready. Because
while you're pulling that up, it's going to be a long road. But
breaking. Sorry, I found it.
There it is.
Attorney General Liz Murrill and coalition of states win trial against Live Nation and Ticketmaster. She said, here was her quote on it. This decision is a significant win for Louisiana consumers. For far too long, Live Nation used its market power to stifle competition, limit consumer choice, and drive up prices for live entertainment at venues across Louisiana, including Caesar Superdome, Smoothie King Center, Sanger Theater New Orleans, Raising Cane's River Center, Fillmore New Orleans, House of Blues New Orleans, and across the United States. So
boom,
her office had a hand in this win.
Hallelujah. Yep. Thank you. You know, here's the thing, though. It means nothing until actual changes come into effect, and they will. Yeah. It's just going to take a hot minute, but thankfully, all right. NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Koch, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen are scheduled to hold a post-flight news conference to answer questions about Artemis 2 lunar flyby mission.
Love it.
Are we going to hear about the alien on the backside of the moon?
No, we're not going to hear about the alien on the dark side of the moon. We're not going to hear about the military base on the dark side of the moon.
But they're going to, you know what? I cannot wait to hear what they saw. It's just to be able to just say, hey, I did that. I can't wait to hear about it.
Am I the only one who's just slightly disappointed that they just flew by? I realized they went further away from the planet Earth than anybody's gone yet, right? I get that. But they just, like, you want to stop? You want to get out?
I'm surprised. I thought that they were, you can't see anything. I know that. But I was hoping they were going to land on that side.
What do you mean you can't see anything? Because it's the dark side?
Yeah, the bad side.
They brought a flashlight. They brought a flashlight.
I know, but I was hoping they were going to get out, take a crater or something.
Right. That's what Let's just set her down right here. We'll walk around a little bit, see what's what, get back
Stretch
on.
Our legs.
I know.
Yep. All right. Donald Trump has posted yet another AI pic. This time, instead of being Jesus had his hand on the president's shoulder.
Come on. Go back to being Jesus.
What is going on? Why does he keep...
Because Pope Leo, we were supposed to talk about this at 6:20, and I'm not 100% sure we're going to. Because Pope Leo sounded off on the war in Iran, because the Pope, as the head of as he's with the Catholic Church, is going to speak in favor of peace and not war. And so Trump's going to tell him, check your theology. I don't think you're right. Okay.
Oh, so that's where all that.
This is a big back and forth. Oh man,
because I was in North Carolina over the weekend. I tried to check out on social media, but the times I did get on, I saw this. And then something about the Red Cross. No, am I wrong? Something about, I don't know. Regardless,
no. That was Donald Trump's explanation to his first picture. Okay. When Donald Trump's picture that he is Jesus and he had his hand on the forehead of a patient and his hand was glowing.
Yep, that's the first picture I saw.
That's the pic that got everybody upset. That said Trump thinks he's Jesus. And Trump said, no, I'm a doctor with the Red Cross in that picture. No, you're not. Doctors with the Red Cross don't heal people with a glowing hand.
Mercy. All right, and there will be a third AI picture. I'm more than certain about it.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But this most recent one obviously says, from Trump's standpoint, Jesus says, my back, not yours. Awesome. Well, we might get into it later on. Let me take a quick second to remind you about Industry Makes. IndustryMakes.org is their website. IndustryMakes.org, a unified voice speaking up for the businesses that are in Louisiana, getting things done up and down the river, building the products that you and I use and make or use and wear every single day. Whether you're talking about, cleaning products in the cabinet, medical products that save lives, or as simple as the shoes on our feet. IndustryMakes.org is that return serve when you see the protests. It's that return volley when you see people lined up to put a stop to building business along the river. IndustryMakes.org is that voice that says, hey, look, they're busy working right now, so we're going to speak up. If you want to learn more, visit IndustryMakes.org. Whee!
Good morning, Kim.
Huh?
I was telling Kim good morning. Good morning. Talk 107.3. Yeah, I'm having issues this morning. Nothing coffee can't fix, I hope. I got you. I got you. I know.
Same guy?
Same asshole. Yeah.
What do you say?
He's like, it's pronounced subsidiary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm aware. I'm like, I tongue tie all the time. Okay, we'll go ask Brain over there to help you. He can kiss it.
I understand.
Oh, this is just over to kill myself. Horrible.
He's a sad, lonely man. Oh, you need those cuts for 625.
Yes.
Yeah. .617, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to talk a little LSU baseball, if we could, as the Tigers are not in the best of positions to start the second half of conference play. They're 6-9 overall in conference play. They're going to need 13 to 14 conference wins to secure a berth in the NCAA tournament. A lot of folks are saying 13. That's been the magic number in the past. But that means you're not hosting a regional nor a super regional. You're on the road as a 2 or a 3 seed. Former LSU standout shortstop, two-time World Series champion Ryan Theriot tells our news partners, the Louisiana Radio Network, there's several factors that are holding this team back from reaching its full potential. Cut 16, please.
Consistency on the defensive side of the ball has not allowed the pitchers to really get in the rhythm and get going. The flip side of that, pitchers long at bats, free passes has put the defense on their heels. And I see a lot of guessing offensively, truthfully. I don't see a ton of just grind it out at bats.
Comment on that real quick. The lack of solid defensive play, the lack of the numerous walks and hit batsmen. There's a lot out there that just looks like a lack of concentration and inability to focus. I'll start with the pickoff plays. I don't have the number in front of me, but a number of the errors you see in the field are pickoffs that go wild. Well, forget about the guy on base. Throw the ball to the home plate and throw a strike. And forget about throwing, a slider, a cutter, whatever. Just throw a deadgum fastball over the plate. Over the past 3 years, Jay Johnson has dominated the transfer portal with key additions. Paul Skeens, Tommy White, Anthony Ianson, it goes on and on. This season, however, the transfers really haven't been stepping up like we've seen in the past.
When every other SEC team has double, sometimes quadruple the amount of money to spend from a rev share standpoint, you've handcuffed your ball club. Period. End of discussion. The game has changed. This isn't 11.7 anymore, and you can survive on tradition and great coaching. That's not how this works. This is who can pay the most money.
And that's something that will be remedied for next year, not this year. By the way, as a reminder, in 2024, LSU had 3 conference wins at the midway point and did still make it to 13 and 17 overall, hitting that magic number.
Well, that was like what, 1 hour? Spirit Airline was around.
Yeah.
Did they even fly out of New Orleans?
They did.
It is a very well settled matter of Christian theology. There's something called the just war doctrine. There's a time to every purpose under heaven. It is a very well settled matter of. If you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth, and that's.
Add this cut to it as well, please. All right, starting off on the interstates and starting off in a much better position than where we were at this time yesterday morning. It's smooth sailing on I-10 westbound from Ascension Parish all the way through town, past the 10-12 merge and all the way across the river for that matter. Flipping it around to 10 eastbound, coming back in from West Baton Rouge Parish, we are wide open there. I-12 westbound, coming in from Livingston Parish, we do have some minor congestion around Range Avenue, but quite honestly, it's a lot lighter than it normally is at this time. And then again, from roughly O'Neill all the way up to from O'Neill to Sherwood, it's basically a little bit of congestion that we're seeing to start off your morning, but nowhere near what we saw yesterday. Your interstate systems are in a much better spot than 24 hours ago. Meanwhile, on your surface streets, a couple of accidents to look out for here. Both still being worked, both not too far from each other. We got an accident at Lobdell at Florida. And if you back things up to the east a little bit, we've got another accident, Florida at Sherwood. The map is showing that accident, Florida at Sherwood, is causing some delays. So if you wanted to sneak over to Choctaw, if you're heading in and you want to sneak over to Choctaw to get around, you might get a 2 or 3 minute jump on it just by, little navigation. That's really good traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. 624 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane. Rolling right along as we do. Got to remind you that the Dreams Come True Radiothon coming up on Monday, the 2026 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is right around the corner. This year, Chad's Collision, Subaru, Lewis Mechanical, Patient Plus, and River Parish Contractors have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $1,000. Whatever amount you could spare is going to get us to that goal a little bit sooner, making sure that more dreams come true for local kids who are battling life-threatening illnesses. Join Talk 107.3 and the Baton Rouge Clinic in helping make dreams come true. It all starts on Monday, April 20th. I'm hesitant to do this. I don't like diving into national topics, and I really don't, because I mean, it's all just degenerative. It's all way too much back and forth, and divisive. But Pope Leo President Trump has been criticizing Pope Leo for what the Pope had to say about the war in Iran. And I wanted to take just a minute, and I know I'm putting in sound bites, not full on, not, a full on speech or a full on comment. So I don't want to misrepresent what the Pope said, but I do want to take a quick second just to kind of walk through what's out there and why, if any reason at all, why it might be considered controversial. I gave these to you in order, Bree Lynn, so that they're, it's going to go 1 through 6. Let's just start off with what we're talking about here when we talk about Pope Leo commenting on something like this. And the Pope said it himself. His role is as the head of a church, not as the head of it's not a political role. Cut 1.
I do not look at my role as being political or politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing.
That's an important part right there, because he didn't call out the president for abusing the gospel. He said the gospel shouldn't be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I think if you're looking for justifications for a war, there are the justifications of man, and then there's the Pope's job, which is looking ahead to the next life, looking ahead towards, pointing us towards salvation. Our time on this earth is temporary. Our goal is not what we're doing while we're here. Our goal is what happens when we get to our next stop, right? Or at least it should be. The president's job is making sure we make the most of what's here for as long as we possibly can. So that being said, he did continue. Cut 2, he said, when it comes to war, yeah, you're going to hear his voice.
I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states to look for just solutions to problems.
All right, that to me should have been the end of it. That right there should have been the end of it, because yes, absolutely, you're the Pope, for crying out loud. You should be looking towards peace. You should be looking towards talking back and forth. You should be looking towards growing relationships between our fellow man. That should be the end of it. The statement did continue, however. Cut 3.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say, there's a better way to do this.
I don't think anybody can have a problem with that. Honestly, when you go back to, let's rewind the clock to before the president was reelected. I mean, how many people looked to Donald Trump to get us out of wars as opposed to in them? And when you do see a war, the Pope is not wrong with that. When you do see a war, you see people as fallout, people as collateral damage, people who are essentially have no say in where the Iranian regime was headed, have no say in whether or not Iran had a nuclear weapon. Those people are the ones who suffer as a result of horrible management at the top. So Donald Trump's job, get rid of the management at the top. Pope's job, look out for all the innocent people who might be quote unquote collateral damage along the way. I don't see a problem with that either. He continued on with the message of the church.
The message of the church, my message, the message of the gospel, blessed are the peacemakers.
Okay. Probably good time to disclose if you didn't already know I'm Catholic. He's not wrong there either, but it is hard to narrow things down to one line out of well, that was from the Sermon on the Mount, but one line out of 4 gigantic gospels. Tough. Tell you what, let's skip to the bottom of the page here. The real quote that I have a problem with is in the return serve from JD Vance. It was that second email that I sent you.
If you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth. And that's one of the things that I try to do. And it's certainly something I would expect from the clergy, whether they're Catholic or Protestant.
So basically, he's telling the Pope he's wrong? Is that where we're at? All right, here's news. I'm actually glad we ran out of time because it was on those last 2 Pope cuts that I was going to get myself in trouble. I would rather a segment that didn't have a really harsh take one way or the other versus a segment that, yeah.
We're slow, but this computer's gonna die.
Oh, I wish it just would. Are we still waiting on the other one?
It's here. Bellwether needs to find a way to get it to us now from New Orleans.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I tell you what, after the show Monday, I'll take a station vehicle down and I'll go get it. What the? Are we that low on their totem pole that they don't give a shit and then they're just not going to drive it up here?
This computer ain't the best either, and that's my fear. I mean, it's way better than this one, but. Oh, let me call Ronnie. Hey, Rodney, good morning. Oh, hanging in there. How are you doing? Well, good deal. We're going to come to you. Brian's going to pick up on his end, okay? Probably 2 minutes. Yes, sir. Okay. You got Alan going on.
Oh. Is he or Alan, are you Catholic?
He's just saying the Pope is a man, men could be wrong. If you don't think
Hang on. Stop right there. So is JD Vance. So is Donald freaking Trump. So until you're ready to step up and say Donald Trump's wrong from time to time, you could stifle that argument. We treat Donald Trump like he's Jesus Christ. You're right. The Pope is a man and he can be wrong. But the first time I've ever heard about that out of your mouth is not when it comes from the President of the United States, who has led us into a war when he promised we wouldn't go to war, who has led us into a war when he promised to get us out of war. When affordability for the U.S. citizen was supposed to be the buzzword of 2026, now the buzzword is ICE and the buzzword is Iran. Oh, the Pope can be wrong. Yes, of course. Every man can be wrong. But not once do I hear about the fallibility of Donald Trump. Ever. We have a worship. There's a segment of Trump derangement syndrome swings both ways. Sorry to go off like that, Alan. You hit a hot button with me this morning. Which was why I didn't want to do the damn topic in the first place. What? Oh, Jesus.
Alan says I do have my issues with Trump.
Never heard about him. I've never heard about him. That's my point, though.
Carol, I'm paying $1.50 a gallon extra for this Epstein administration gasoline. Alan hasn't been to church in a while.
Well, I got to go to confession now because of that. Thank you, boss.
Alan, me either. I think the last time I walked into a church was last year sometime, maybe even Easter service last year. Seriously. I know.
Get to church, for crying out loud.
No, I need Jesus. Alan takes a bow. You got.
He should. He should. That was stronger than coffee, boss. You should take a bow.
Poor Alan. Alan, I see Brian's hand just like you got him all riled up.
No, I'm good. It's out. I got it out. I'm done.
I'm dying.
637 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Fantastic chat going on with the glorified crew over there on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live every single day, courtesy of the folks over at Lake Urgent Care. If you want in, hop in. If you want to rip me a new one, go ahead. I know I have it coming after that last segment. That's cool. That's fine. It's what we're here for. We're to talk and move the conversation forward. Before we get to, we got Rodney Mallett from DOTD on the hotline. Before we get to Rodney, want to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website, FlyBTR.com. Making your travel plans for the summer, making your travel plans for LSU football season, FlyBTR.com. You don't want to be left out when the Tigers go to Oxford, Mississippi. Now, you don't fly to Oxford, you fly to Memphis and then drive back into Oxford. But you don't want to be left out when the lane train hit, well, I guess we could call it the lane plane. When the lane plane hits Ole Miss. Get your book your reservations now at flybtr.com. Always want to remember daily flight to Washington, D.C. Leaves out in the 6 o'clock hour, comes home that evening. Get your business done in our nation's capital same day. flybtr.com. All right. We started seeing it last weekend. It's going to be ramped up a little bit more this weekend. I-10 widening project is in, well, I wouldn't say full swing just yet, but definitely moving in that direction. Rodney Mallett with DOTD is on with us. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Good morning. How's it going?
It's going very well on my end. Let's start with what people can expect to see this weekend.
Well, speaking of the Baton Rouge Airport, that is going to be the detour route from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night into Monday morning, because we contractors are going to be widening the I-10 westbound flyover, and that's all part of the widening project. And so that is going to happen for 5 weekends, the same time, nighttime closures, while we widen that part of I-10.
5 weekends while that part of I-10 is being widened. Okay, so let's start with the times of the times of the widening here. It's the same every night, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.?
That's exactly right. So way back when we were putting all the plans together, when we were doing the environmental assessment and all of that, part of that included a traffic management plan. And so we looked at we had somebody actually model to see what would be the best times to close it and with minimal impact to the traveling public. Yeah. And that's what the modeling shows. So those are the hours they're going to do it. Yeah, you're right. But one of the things that we were concerned about was that 5 a.m. on Monday.
Right.
You know, but it shows that when everything's picked up and it's moving, then it traffic patterns should be back to normal before 5:30. So it's minimal impacts to the traveling public. And so that's what we're shooting for. And hopefully we can get it done before 5 weeks, but that's the plan right now.
Okay. So it goes all the way out to the airport. So just to be clear, when you talk about that flyover right there, there's no hopping back on the interstate at that last, was it Nicholson Highland? There's no hopping back up on the interstate at that point. You want to cross the river before getting back on.
Well, it's westbound. So yeah,
Right.
you know, the only other place to get on, if you take 110 north to the old bridge, come back across and then shoot back to I-10. That's the official detour route.
Yeah.
But if you want to use your travel app, your 511 LA,
Yeah.
your Waze or Google Maps, it can always show you a path of least resistance if there's another route.
And it's probably going to be a lot less of an impact on this front, but for those who come into town from points north, if they're coming in on 110, I'm guessing that if you're coming in on 110, merging over to 10 from 110, like 110 southbound to 10 westbound, that's going to be shut down as well?
No, that's going to be open. It was closed last
then,
weekend.
all right, then that's where I'm going to go back to my other question, though, is can people hop off and then like circle back on by like, let's say North Boulevard?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Taking a U-turn, getting off, and then coming on another exit and coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely, I would check the travel app to see if that's going to be much quicker or much better or more efficient than taking the old bridge.
Mhm.
But for like freight traffic, that probably would not be the best case.
Okay. Now, that's my next question here. Is my guess is, and this is just a guess, my guess is the majority of the traffic at that time of morning is either folks going to plants on the other side of the river or interstate traffic with 18-wheelers. We could talk, you and me, we could talk all day long to the folks that are here in town about, rerouting ahead of time if you're working on the other side of the river. Is there any way for y'all to effectively communicate to truckers before they get here?
Wow, that is such a good question. We do have the message boards that we use, and we have some portable message boards that will be out. But we also have technology that we use in our traffic management center called DriveWise, where we can send messages straight to the truckers who have who participate in that app. So yeah, we can let the truckers know ahead of time. In fact, we used that a lot when we were doing the I-20 widening project up in the Bossier area.
Okay.
Because the trucks were not allowed to go on I-20, and what we found was that the truckers were going on I-20 instead of using 220 to bypass because they didn't know.
Right.
And so we ended up using the DriveWise and letting people know. And look, it helped so much. It helped the project move faster. It helped the number of trucks that got stuck in the narrow lanes. So yes, the truckers use the DriveWise. They have the information. We have the MyDOTD, the 511, the travel apps. So if there's a trucker who doesn't know, they're not trying to find out. The information's out there.
It's not going to be Rodney Mallett working a CB radio in the middle of the night just saying, is anybody out there?
No, and I can guarantee you I'm not going to be out there with a bullhorn and an orange flag waving traffic. No, we stepped into the 90s, and we have, the technology to let people know. Yeah,
well, that's good to hear. Because if there is interstate traffic, well, there will be interstate traffic. If they can reroute, let's say by airline highway, they're not going to see any delays at all. I mean, those that are rerouting via I-110, there might still be some I'm guessing there will still be some slowdowns, hopefully minimal. But if you're rerouting via 110, you might have to slow it down a little bit. If you can get off before airline and just scooch the whole way around it, you won't even see brake lights.
You're right. We have those message boards that go back all the way to the state line, and so we'll be lighting those those signs up to let people know way ahead of time to take an alternate route. And we found, when we were doing the College Drive flyover, we had several full interstate closures, and we put the information out. We had a lot of help from you, and we had help from the traditional media, social media, all the technology we have, and we had very minimal impacts, backups, congestions with those, and we're hoping for the same thing here.
Okay, now, next part of this question, and I'm glad you brought up the College Drive flyover because I think there's going to be a few comps here, a few comparables along the way. What does the widening look like in the meanwhile? Like when things open back up on Monday morning, what's that going to look like as we're mid-process?
There's going to be no disruption to the traffic patterns that are there right now. So it's going to have the same number of lanes. Everything's going to be by 5 o'clock on each morning. You're going to have the same travel lane configuration that you have right now.
What's it going to look like as a finished product?
Well, oh Lord, by 2031.
Oh, no. I mean, once these 5 weeks are over with.
Oh, you're going to have, it's going to be restriped. You're going to have a barrier. So it's going to be the same lane configuration, but you're going to have just different striping and a barrier that's going to be shifted over to the right because they're going to widen that inside lane. And then the ultimate goal is to be able to shift the eastbound traffic onto the widened flyover.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have, the same number of lanes in each direction, but we're going to start taking down the eastbound part so we can rebuild it and widen it and come to the completion.
So there's no pouring of new concrete. There's nothing that's going to change within the physical structure. It's just going to be a restructuring within what's there.
Eventually, you will see it widen. Yes, there will be.
Okay, that's not just this phase. That's just not this phase.
Right, exactly.
Rodney Mallett with DOTD is our guest. Got another minute or two with Rodney. I want to touch on, if we could, before we close up, just to be 100% clear, this in no way, shape, or form affects eastbound.
Correct.
When's that due up?
That is going to be a couple years out.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, that's not in the upcoming weekend.
Right.
You will see the I-10, 110 flyover when you're coming eastbound and you're trying to go to 110 north. That's going to be closed. I don't know exactly when off the top of my head, but there are some closures for that as well.
Okay. Well, this is the beginning of we're in the beginning stages of a very, very long process. I appreciate you hopping on board to bring us up to speed.
Anytime, Brian. I appreciate your interest in the project.
No, absolutely. If we can help keep people moving, that's what we're here for. That's what y'all are here for. It's right there in the title. So
that's great.
Talk to you soon, Roddy. Thank you much.
See you, Brian. Thanks.
Later. Bye. 647 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Greatly appreciate Rodney Mallett. Hopefully we're getting out in front on this. Quick break. We got traffic. We got Your Money Now on the way. I still don't know if I get paid for this spot. I understand that, but it might be my penance for stepping out of bounds. I know.
You got Alan probably won't cry.
What?
Alan, you probably let him go cry.
Oh, he gonna cry in the car. That might be my favorite line from Friday. When Debo snatches that necklace off the dude, I'm gonna tuck mine in. When he snatches that necklace, he runs on. My grandmama gave me the necklace. When he runs off, oh, he gonna cry in the car.
Later.
Oh.
Return from Legislative Bureau, Senate Bill 127.
Lasers member transfer to me, funded, no state money involved. You have a right to close. Move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. House Bill 444 simply adds two people to the commission, and that would be
Specifically appoints you. Affects them. Any other district in Baton Rouge?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. House Bill 444 simply adds two people.
If I sent,
and that would be
now you know what? I can get this done on my end. 103.35. Okay. How long do I have? Let me get my. I'm gonna get the computer booted up at least. NEUROJUST. That's how you spell Neurojust. I'll spell it out for you so you can find the website, neurojust.com. If you or someone you know is battling with anxiety or depression and has been treatment resistant, meaning you don't sit down, talk it out therapy, a little short-term turn on that, but it's not really sticking, or you just don't like the way you feel on the meds. I mean, we'll prescribe a drug for anything in this country, and then we'll prescribe a drug to affect the drug. If the antidepressants, if the prescription meds aren't working, if the talk it out therapy isn't working, by the way, if it is, stick with it. Whatever's working for you, absolutely run with it. But if you've been finding that you're treatment resistant and that anxiety and depression is still rattling around, you've still got those 6-foot waves crashing around your head, and you're looking for another solution, I suggest TMS therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation. This is what they specialize in over at Neurojust. If you visit neurojust.com, you'll get their phone number, you'll get their address, you can read about it more, or you can call them and ask some questions as well. The team at Neurojust is so patient-centered. They're here to look out for you and you first. In fact, if you call them and say, I've been on antidepressants, so it seems to be working, they're going to tell you, awesome, stick with that. If it's working for you, absolutely. But if you want to get off that ride, if you want to calm those seas overall rather than just treating the symptom, give Neurojust a look. NEUROJUST, Neurojust.com. So, State Senator Patrick McMath has an idea, a plan, if you will, to fix the state agency responsible for child welfare. You heard the story in news at the bottom of the hour from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. The Department of Children and Family Services has been criticized for not preventing child deaths after they were alerted about dangers in the home. McMath wants to move many of the functions of DCFS within the Department of Health and put state police in charge of handling child abuse reports. Cut 13, if you would.
DCFS didn't accept a report or a worker failed to make contact with a child, and the next call received by DCFS was that the child was now dead.
So hard to hear because we've walked through it towards the end of the John Bell Edwards administration. We walked through it as Governor Landry took over and moved this up the priority rankings. The more he learned, the more he moved it up the priority rankings. We learned a lot more. So because it's so heavy, Breland, would you play 13 again, please?
We have heard many reports where DCFS didn't accept a report or a worker failed to make contact with a child, and the next call received by DCFS was that the child was now dead.
The legislation by McMath would also put the Attorney General's office in charge of making sure parents are making their court-ordered support payments. The proposal is 111 pages long. So members of the Senate Health and Welfare Committee are going to spend the next week going over the major changes. Alexandria Senator Jay Luno is one of several lawmakers displeased with DCFS's inability to protect abused and neglected children. Cut 14.
It's just time. We can't keep having these terrible outcomes.
He's right. I ran into him last week. This wasn't the topic of conversation, but he's one where Senator Luno he's a Democrat, but a lot of times when it comes to state matters, his head's screwed on right. It's like he falls in a category of, you're going to disagree with him politically, but agree with him as a man. His biggest concern with the proposal that's out there right now is funding and workforce to do the job. So McMath says current employees of DCFS would not lose their jobs. Instead, they will be transferred into LDH, and that agency's new name will be the Louisiana Department of Health and Human Services. Cut 15.
They will be folded into what I believe to be a more robust system, will have greater levels of support and potentially significant increased avenues in funding.
It's just getting there. And how does this fold into the overall budget? How does this fold into everything else, all the other moving parts of the legislative session? I got to put a call into Senator McMath. We need to get him on the show next week to talk about it, because when you're taking swings in the state capitol, this is a big one, a very big one. By the way, our news partners at the Louisiana Radio Network say that, I should say the Advocate reached out to Governor Landry about the plan, and he said he was frustrated with the proposal because no one talked with him about it. I get that frustration from the governor's perspective, because this is a problem that was probably not in his lap at the beginning of his campaign, but was in his lap by the time he was elected. So, this is one of those ones where it's going to take a whole bunch of people coming together from a whole bunch of different political backgrounds with a whole bunch of ideas. And sadly, we're going to see, compromise, muddy the waters a little bit. But in order to get everything done on every facet that it needs to be done, that's probably what it's going to take to move the needle. So it's, everyone agrees that the spot we're in right now is a bad one. It's just, how do we get out of it from there? Coming up in hour 2, it's Second Chance Week. Andrew Hundley from the Parole Project is going to join us. Interestingly enough, while we're talking about getting people out of jail, let's talk about the flip side of that. We got Crimestoppers next hour.
You did that on purpose.
I did not. Oh, so good.
What an hour.
I know. Well, look, once you do your bid, once you do your time, get back out there, get back in the world. The number one cause for recidivism is a lack of opportunity.
There you go.
Someone gets out of prison, if they don't have a job to go to, a house to go to, a residence to set up so they can get the dadgum job, it's more likely they're going to end up back on Don Coppola's radar again.
Love it. So we're helping Don.
Right. No, absolutely. The only thing better than crime solving is crime prevention.
There you go.
And that's what Second Chance Week is all about. Hey, before we get you to news at the top of the hour, I got to remind you about One Bath and Closets. Spell it out, ONE, onebathandclosets.com. You'll get a hold of David Duvall when you call 400-8005, 400-8005. Wait, I put one too many zeros in that. 400-8005. More coffee. Christy and I walked down the One Bath and Closets path late last year. We got ourselves a new master bathroom. Tell you what, if for some reason you saw a tax refund yesterday, looking for a way to spend that effectively, how about investing in yourself, investing in your home? Upgrade your closet, upgrade your bathroom. OneBathAndClosets.com.
Lord. I was going to wait.
Why?
Let it play. I'm joking.
Like-
Sweet as Mafia House.
I mean, how long did we let it play?
I was just going to jam out.
Well, I mean, it's.
I love it. Turn it up again.
What am I, Pete Tong on BBC One? Is that what this is now?
Right. There we go.
Is he still doing his thing?
I don't think so.
All right.
I haven't heard
I'm so old.
in forever.
I know. 705 Talk 107.3 FM W. Pete Tong. 705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Hour 2 of Mornings with Brian. Nobody gets that reference, by the way. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Breland producing. We are broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. We are starting off your 7 o'clock hour at 65 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Busy hour this hour. We're talking crime and redemption throughout the hour as Andrew Hundley from the Parole Project slated to join us at 7:15. Don Coppola right after him. We'll have our crime
I love this.
It's so unintentional, though.
It's almost like you did it on purpose, but I know you didn't.
I know. So, gonna be a good time. By the way, next hour, Jay Hover's gonna stop by, talk Baton Rouge Blues Fest. Roger Wilder's gonna stop by, talk about what he's working on in the legislative session, and we'll visit with the folks from Igniting Hope as well as they're fighting human trafficking. So, busy 8 o'clock hour as well. Let's get to it. Top stories and trending. I moved all my papers around. There we go. A local casting agency is looking for background actors to join the production of a new Viola Davis-led film set to shoot in Baton Rouge this year. Caballero Casting is looking to populate the set of Allie Clark, a new conspiracy thriller where Davis's titular character investigates a conspiracy involving an international conglomerate after a friend's suspicious death brings her to Louisiana. So they are looking for roles that would be paid. Adults receiving $150 for a 12-hour day. Minors receiving $100 for an 8-hour day on set if selected. You want to email Clark BRBG at CABALLERO casting.com, Casting. You want to email your name, age, contact number, address, height, and weight, as well as a full body shot and a headshot. By the way, if you didn't catch that email address, our news partners at WBRZ posted it up. Starting Friday night and running through the weekend over the next 5 weekends, the flyover from westbound I-10 onto the Mississippi River Bridge will be closed from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. until Monday morning. So it's Friday night to Saturday morning, Saturday night to Sunday morning, Sunday night and Monday morning. This will be the next 5 weekends. We talked with Rodney Mallett from DOTD about this last hour. The closure is part of the I-10 widening project. LSU will cut the ribbon tomorrow on a $148 million science building the university leaders say closes more than half the school's gap in modern teaching and lab space. The Our Lady of the Lake Health Interdisciplinary Science Building spans 148,000 square feet and can hold up to 1,150 students, faculty, and researchers at a time, housing programs in multiple disciplines. Before you hit that number 2 button there, I just want it noted right here. Our Lady of the Lake's investment in the community, like how much blowback was there when they were putting their name on the new basketball arena, right? Yeah, no, this is in science. Everywhere they're investing in the community. This is in a number of different disciplines of science. So I know every time something with LSU comes up, it's all about the sports. No, this one, 148,000 square feet, state-of-the-art lab space, 100% for science. So shout out to FMOL and Our Lady of the Lake. Louisiana's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Election Assistance Commission after the commission barred Louisiana from implementing a state law requiring those who register to vote to provide information proving they're U.S. citizens. The complaint, filed in federal court in western Louisiana, asks the court to declare that the commission was, quote, getting in the way of the state's sovereign right to protect the integrity of its elections. That according to Attorney General Liz Murrill. 2 people were taken into custody following a raid that occurred as ICE agents were seen at a home on Thompson Road off I-55 Service Road. This, of course, Tangipahoa Parish. According to protesters at the home, ICE agents went to the home following a traffic stop. They'd been waiting to be granted a search warrant since 8 a.m., got the warrant, got the arrests. I don't get the protest there. They were waiting since 8 a.m. to make these. Okay. Was there a warrant? Were there charges? Arrests made. That's the way this rolls.
Protest.
Yeah. You got here too early, man.
A jury has found that concert giant Live Nation and its Ticketmaster subsidiary had a harmful monopoly.
You did it again. You're going to spark a phone call.
I will.
Subsidiary. I know.
Tongue twister had a harmful monopoly over big concert venues, dealing the company a loss in a lawsuit over claims brought by dozens of U.S. states,
including this one.
Yeah,
Liz Murrell's office was big into this one. They posted the press release, sent out the press release yesterday. Talk about this is a big win, and it is. It is for concert goers. It is for the venues. It is for the entire cities that look to attract people to come to your town to go to a concert.
Mm-hmm.
If you're think about this. If you're price gouging a concert, you're less likely to go to it, right?
Correct.
They're still going to fill the seats and they're going to make their cut no matter what. Their end is taken care of. But if you were looking to come to the River Center for a concert and maybe stay at a hotel downtown versus just driving back home, you get gouged on that ticket. You're not going to have the disposable income.
Right.
To go. If your budget to go to XYZ concert is such, then maybe going out to dinner before or after the show gets nixed.
Correct. It hurts tourism.
Right.
It hurts the restaurant industry.
It hurts the city's bottom line. So, yeah, big ups on this one.
And the service fees, holy, $30, $40, $50.
Yeah.
I know. That's
and that dips into the whole overall budget as well. Damn it.
Yep. All right. NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, today. Okay, let me start over. What is going on? NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, I think I'm saying that. Koch, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen are scheduled to hold a post-flight news conference to answer questions about the Artemis 2 lunar flyby mission.
I'm going to blame the crawfish boil.
What is going on with me today?
We're all clocked out because we know we're eating crawfish this afternoon. It's right. It's senioritis, basically.
Senioritis.
It's one of those, senioritis when you're a senior in high school and you're in between exams and graduation.
You don't care
when
anymore.
We have a crawfish boil coming up this afternoon. Concentration isn't there.
Right.
We're like LSU baseball in the field right now. We're just making errors.
Right. And we speak for a living, and here I am. But I love
they
this
take
story.
ground balls for a living, and look at them.
Right. I love this story, by the way. I love it. I cannot wait to hear about their mission.
Same. I mean, we're not going to hear a whole lot.
And you know what's ironic?
We saw a military base. No, you didn't.
We saw an alien.
Real green man. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. We put the poll question out there a couple weeks ago. We've never got full results on that poll question. We put the poll question out there a few weeks ago is, who do you think got it right when it comes to what aliens look like? Was it the Mel Gibson movie Signs? Remember they had the backwards, not backwards legs, but they had that hunched walkover.
Yep. Was it E.T.?
Was it E.T.?
Or War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds. That's an old one, but yeah. No, I'm talking the original, not the new War of the Worlds, but
the original.
Right.
The original,
not the radio play, but the original movie. Right, you know who I think got it right? Mars Attacks.
Okay, I think E.T.
What about Independence Day? With the tentacles.
That's kind of War of the World with the whole it's taking over.
Yeah.
All right. Donald Trump has posted another AI pic. This time, instead of being Jesus had his hand on the president's shoulder.
I love the symbolism right there.
Lord,
love the symbolism. When Donald Trump puts out a picture that says, when Donald Trump is criticizing the Pope on one hand and then puts a picture on Truth Social that says, like figuratively, not literally, figuratively says, Jesus has my back, not yours.
I think I was trying to board the plane on Thursday and my Facebook feed was in an uproar. And at that point, when the pilot was like, or the stewardess, she's like, turn your phone in airplane mode. I'm like, yeah, time to do that.
Yeah.
Because it was, man, everybody.
Yeah. All right, we're at 7:15 at Talk 107.3 FM. We're running a minute too long here. I do need to remind you about Mathern's downtown on 3rd Street, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center on campus, Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. In fact, that location right there, it's a larger footprint, if you will. You'll get a full-service grocery store downtown with Mathern's. You get a full-service grocery store on campus with Mathern's. But the one on Highland Road, a little bit larger of a footprint, so they have the ability to bring you a few more products, and they're making sure that those products are local. If you want to find great Louisiana products, Mathern's at Kenilworth is so your way to go there, especially when it comes to like local, let's just say like local meats, like boudin, pork chops, all the like, whatnot. You can get them pre-seasoned and everything. Mathern's at Kenilworth has got you covered on that front. If you need other great local products, just walk through the front door and you'll see they're stocked to the gills with it. Don't forget, if you download the Mathern's Rewards app, you're earning cash towards more groceries every time you shop Mathern's, and download the Mathern's Rewards app today.
Stocked to the gills.
What? They are.
I know you're better rewards.
That's a regular phrase. That's not mine.
I know, but it's just funny. Big, beautiful bill.
You don't have to believe in the Green New Deal. Come on in, Andrew. Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bree Lynn, it's Andrew. Bree Lynn.
How you doing?
So, hey, how are you? Of course. Yeah, no. It's encouraged. Thank you for pivoting. I
It worked out well for me.
And I try to do my best to make sure I'm actually in front of my calendar when I book things. And I've known Jared Profita for 20 years, so I just oh shit.
No.
And then I went back and I was like, that's the same.
It worked. It ended up working out better for me. So you did me a favor.
Well, only thing is now I've got you, and then I've got Crimestoppers right after you.
It's good. I love it's great.
Can I get a picture of y'all just
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
What really is BBC One Day? We went from Swedish House Mafia to Eric Prydz. All right.
And I can't speak today. I love it. I love it.
Good stuff. 7:17 at Talk 107.3 FM. WB. Sorry, rolled over 7:18. It is Second Chance Week. Joining us now to talk about it, we've got Andrew Hundley from Parole Project on with us. How are you, sir?
Great. Thanks for having me.
No, glad to have you in here. Let's just, we're going to get to some pending legislation in a minute, but start off with, before we get to Second Chance Week, the mission of Parole Project.
Our mission is to enhance public safety, and we do that by helping men and women who are coming home from prison rebuild their lives so they can become contributors and break the cycle of incarceration.
The cycle of incarceration, I think that's important to note right there, because we're finally starting to see a pivot, a break in the clouds to get out of the cycle and on a path here. The biggest reason that people go back to prison, the biggest reason for recidivism is what?
Lack of housing, lack of employment, lack of opportunity. If you leave prison and go right back to the same neighborhood, to the same friend group, to the same routine, you're gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're finding is if we give people the training, and sometimes that they've never had, the mentorship, show them a direction, and give them opportunity for economic mobility, we can have great outcomes.
The how do we affect those outcomes when it comes to parole project? How do y'all go about affecting those outcomes? Because like lack of a job is a lack of opportunity, lack of hope. Those two things are combined because the job's not just about a paycheck. It's about a mission and being driven.
It's routine. It's responsibility and purpose.
Mm-hmm. Now, to go along with that, I don't know a job you can get out there without having a residence. So walk me through process of what y'all do.
Sure. So we start working with people before they're released from prison, starting to prepare them. Much of my staff are formerly incarcerated people who've come home, rebuild their lives, and now they serve as peer mentors. So they go in with a no BS attitude on an action plan that we present to people. And hey, if you want to be a part of the program, you got to agree to our model, to what we do. It's not a la carte. And the day that someone's released, we don't say go home for the weekend and find us whenever you've had a good time. We don't say find us when you're in crisis. Literally, we're there to pick you up the day you get out of prison and you come into housing with us. We own and operate 48 properties in Baton Rouge that we use for transitional and post-transitional housing. So we're giving you stability while we give you training, find you a job, work to save money, work towards self-sufficiency. It's not a handout, but a hand up.
The outreach has to start well before anybody's paroled, right? So being in the prison to get on the mentorship path, that's got to be the starting point, right?
That's right. And we have a good working relationship with the Department of Corrections. We're a partner. They obviously see us as an asset because we're here helping lower the recidivism rate. And we work to identify those people who've done the work while they're in prison to get training, to get educated. They've shown a will to want to change their lives. And those are the individuals we're looking for because we're going to provide them a pathway when they come home. But it starts inside.
I didn't prep you on this or anything. What's your batting average?
So about 690 clients over the last 10 years.
Good night.
We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. 690 clients, fewer than 3% have returned to prison. So the easiest stat is around recidivism, where the state's 5-year recidivism is around 42%. 42% of people will return to prison within 5 years. A lot of those individuals are people who get counted over and over because they cycle in and out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But fewer than 3% of our clients have returned to prison. More important, stat, and it's really qualitative, is around, those individuals who've come home and become homeowners, become small business owners, become volunteers in our community, faith leaders. And those are the individuals we're really proud of because they're more than just people who aren't going back to prison, but people who are becoming contributors that you'd never know. You worship with them on Sundays. You're in the grocery store next to them. They're your neighbors. And we want them to be as successful as they can be because whenever they're, when they become taxpayers, when they become involved in their communities, they really invest. They have a lot to prove, and we're happy to help guide them in that process.
Talk with Andrew Hundley from Parole Project. It's Second Chance Week. We're going to get some pending legislation as well as Barbara Freiberg is one that has a bill that's actually making some decent headway right now. I was talking to her out at the Capitol yesterday about it. And she's going to come on the show next week so we can have hopefully a finished report card on it. But we got Andrew Hundley in studio with us right now. Within that timeline, so we know where the timeline starts. Does the timeline end? Is there a safe spot where you say, okay, you've been out for a good 5 years now. You're to the point now where maybe not a homeowner, but definitely in a long-term lease. You've been employed for more than 2 years. Is there a spot where you just let the bird fly?
Yeah. So our case management model is for 12 months. And that means for 12 months, it doesn't mean we abandon them after 12 months, but for a minimum of 12 months that they have to stay in our case management system. They have to be accountable to our program. And then as early as 12 months, they can move into inactive status with us, which means we're confident in their trajectory. And any clients who have, generally that recidivism happens much earlier. We know people are going to slip, before 12 months. Generally 5 years out, I can't tell you a person that I know who's been out 5 years who hasn't recidivated that will 6, 7, 8 years down the line. But the first 12 months are extremely important. And that's why we bird dog our clients, and we work to ensure that they're meeting all of the expectations. They're keeping their job. They're in stable relationships. They're keeping their commitments of what they said they were going to do when they first came home from prison.
I talked with Andrew Hundley from Parole Project about Second Chance Week. Keeping with that, though, I mean, once they move that far down the line, do they become, I hate to put it this way, but an asset, an ally, someone that's going to help? You mentioned you got entrepreneurs and business owners. I would imagine that's the first person you turn to looking to get somebody else a job.
It's true. We have former clients and look, we've sort of turned this old idea on its head. There was an old law enforcement parole idea that felons shouldn't associate with other felons.
Right.
And we have a lot of convicted felons in Louisiana, so it's hard to keep, people from associating with one another.
Sure.
But what we've proven is felons who are doing, ex-felons who have rebuilt their lives and doing well are the best role models for people who are coming home. There's someone, hey, I can look up to this person. They've provided a model for success. So you're right. People who've been home, who've become business owners, end up becoming employers for our clients, but they also become mentors, even if they're not working for the organization. People that, hey, if I'm struggling with addiction, I can turn to someone.
I was going to say that it's a similar model to AA in that respect. Is you want support from someone who's been through the struggle. You want some support from someone who else has dug themselves out of that hole. That makes sense to me.
It's correct. Lived experience is really important. And generally guys who've come out and are successful, they don't want to see other people go back to prison. They don't want to see these guys that they've served time with go back to a really rough place. Because usually every time you go back, you're going to spend a little bit more time there.
Correct.
So generally there's a feeling of what can we do to support one another?
We got 4 minutes left. Second Chance Week, what's it all about?
Second Chance Week is about public awareness. We want the community to know, first of all, 90% of people who go to prison will come home. So no matter what your political ideology is, we should all agree, once we hold people accountable, that we should give them opportunities for change. And accountability and restoration, rehabilitation, however you want to look at it, those things can coexist. So on the front end, accountability. On the back end, what are we doing to ensure that people don't go back to the system? Having been someone who's formerly incarcerated, worked with a lot of formerly incarcerated people, I can tell you prison on its own has never cured someone. It's totally about, prison's about incapacitation and punishment, but what kind of training, what kind of opportunities are we giving people? And that's just not lip service, but how can we hold someone's hand and be training wheels for them to ensure that they become successful. So Second Chance Week's about us telling employers about, hey, you giving someone an opportunities, not only giving you a good employee potentially, but also improving public safety. It's about landlords who take chances on someone. And I can tell you a lot of the landlords I talk to are less concerned about the background check than how do I know I'm going to get paid?
Right. Well, yeah, that would be number one.
So with Parole Project serves as almost we're a stamp of approval on our clients, and employers, landlords, people in the community who are giving our clients volunteer opportunities, they know that we're standing behind them, and that, this person that they're taking a chance on actually has a community behind them. And you can give us a call if there's a problem, and we'll be there to help support you and help support that person.
Got a minute left with Andrew Hundley from Parole Project. Representative Freiberg's got a bill that's it's already on the Senate side, by the way. It's
HB 168.
168. It's already to Jude B for the committee. Tell us a little bit about what that does.
Sure. It looks to solve this problem. The gap between prison and freedom is too great. There needs to be a bridge. Because when you let someone out of prison and say, okay, you've learned your lesson, do better at life. It's much more than that. It's about having support. 168 will create a transitional reentry program for women in their last 6 months. They can go before the parole board, potentially to be released into a community reintegration program. So we're not just releasing women straight to the streets. Women are very susceptible to exploitation and victimization when they come out of prison. Don't need to describe that any further than that. But what this program would do would allow women who are completing their sentence to finish their sentence in the community in a structured program like Parole Project, so they could have support through housing, employment, and have a head start on their freedom instead of just being dumped on the streets into unsafe situations.
Give us a website where folks can learn more about y'all.
www.paroleproject.org.
Paroleproject.org. He's Andrew Hundley. Greatly appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you.
Here's news. That was awesome. That was friggin' fantastic. Yeah, I rented a barber yesterday. I was at the state capitol just, taking in some of the, watching the sausage be made because I did thoroughly enjoy it. But yeah, it's a good one. And I think it's going to pass.
Emily also has it's a wonky technical bill. Right now, the parole board, conditional parole. Hey, we're granting you parole, but we're going to tell you got to do these things before you get out. A parole grant lasts for 9 months. So Emily's bill extends it to 24 months. We proposed this, and a lot of people, ACLU was like, oh, they're just trying to keep people in prison longer. In the crime session, time between hearings, if you get denied, was 2 years, but post-crime session, it's 5 years. So what happens now is the parole board's looking, and they got someone who's borderline, and they know this person, either I would grant them and they're going to get out in 9 months, or they have to wait 5 years. So we're not going to get the governor or the legislature to undo that. But what we did was created this, will give us 2 years to say, that way it's sort of like the old days, just a couple of years ago. Hey, I want you to do 2 more years. I'm going to deny you, come back in 2 years, do this program and finish your technical degree, and I'm going to grant you. So it was a technical fix without seeming like, oh, we need to undo this thing we did in the crime session, which the governor's not ready to do. So the board can say, we grant you conditionally, but we want you to do a vocational trade, or we want you to do this programming that'll take maybe 18 months. And so it's little things like that. And the administration, the corrections secretary, parole board, we're all on board. But that's gonna give the board a tool to, instead of like, we got to let you out right now, or we're going to make you wait for 5 years. Sometimes there's a sweet spot.
Yeah, that sweet spot is when you're let out, do you have somewhere to go and something to do? And you can attain a discernible skill. It's a game changer. Yeah. So, awesome stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Greatly appreciate
See you
it.
soon.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Bree.
Oh, my word. She is so ready for the academy.
I know.
AAU basketball season starts this weekend. Her and Christy leave for Houston tomorrow morning. I know. So yeah, she's.
I know they are all ready when they hit. So,
yeah.
I wish Lucian went to Kaplan for 8. I wish they would do that for the girls.
Same thing. Well, we're split on James because I don't think when he gets to 8, I don't know if he's gonna be ready.
Yeah.
I think he might need that 8th grade year at Mercy.
Still to have the option for the girls to do the same exact thing. You
Same.
know? Yeah.
That was like when I was growing up. St. Paul's took 8th grade, but SSA did not.
Right.
So
weird.
I know. And same's true on the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I'm pushing for James to go because take the jump.
Yeah.
So.
Lucian's loved it. I mean, it's great, and it's like this whole the group of them.
Well, but also they didn't take everybody.
No, but they would have wiped. So our 8th grade class, like with Abby and Ocean, there's only 30 boys. They would have wiped out all the boys.
Yeah.
So they could. I mean, it's that girl heavy class. So.
Oh, I know. Well, it's a small class to begin with. Smallest class Mercy
But
has.
it's 70 girls, 34 was. 30
Yeah.
boys, so yeah. Which I told Lucian, I was like, later on.
Well, they're down to 82 now. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, good to see you.
You too. Always.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Is it okay?
Yes, it's perfect.
That's what okay.
Yep, I got a shot of whiskey this morning.
Can you now say subsidiary?
Subsidiary. There we go. Subsidiary. Why do I always say subsidy?
I don't know.
It just flows.
I'm surprised I didn't get a phone call. You didn't say it right.
But you did get a phone call.
I know. Go kill yourself. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get a phone call the second time. How's your son doing, Don?
He's thank you for asking. Well, he's on his second round of chemo this week, so it's a bad week, but
is he able to get rest?
he is. You know, it's the chemo week is really puts him down, and he has 2 weeks off, so it's usually a week of recovering, a decent week, and then he's back at chemo.
Back at work.
So, but thank you for
And
asking.
his crew's working with him, right? The fire department.
Oh, St. George has been incredible. Could not ask for better, just support system, and you know, because it's like you're a family.
Yeah. I'm just making sure they're not giving him hell about.
Oh no, not at all. And you know, like I've told him, I said if you were in the private sector somewhere,
Maybe.
who knows what would happen.
Yeah.
But no, St. George Fire Department has been incredible.
Oh, I'm so glad. He just got married, right?
Just got married, baby on the way.
Baby on the way.
20, yeah, he's 23. And it's, you know, you look back like this is the last thing. You're supposed to be enjoying your newlywed time, a baby, yeah, and
your newlywed,
and now you're fighting for your life. Morning.
We're ready to roll. Sorry.
No,
I noticed
we're not
that.
rolling.
180pros, 180pros.com is the website. 225-330-2200 is the phone number. What are you getting when you call 180 Pros? Well, you're getting someone to manage your network for a small business. Yes, absolutely. You're getting someone to protect you from cybersecurity threats. Yes, but what you're really getting on is a full-on relationship with your IT partner. We at 180 Pros, they make it a point to say IT partner, not IT provider. Huge difference there. You're getting same-day response time. You're getting simplified billing. You're not getting nickel and dime. You're not getting the runaround. You're going to get somebody who, when you call them, they answer and they can respond to you in the same day. That is unbelievably important, because when you're a business, if your network is down, your business is down. If your business is down, you're not making money. And if you're not making money, then what are we doing here? 180pros.com, or like I said, give them a call. 225-330-2200 for 180 Pros. All right, time for Crimestoppers. Morning, Don. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here.
Always.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to let out that Crimestoppers again.
That's I mean,
I know, my bad.
We moved on. You didn't have to like point out that you jumped the gun. That's,
I always do.
I understand that, but we just moved on. So now we could revisit the mistake. I wasn't trying to put you on blast for the mistake, but I mean, if you're going to do it, then okay.
But jump the gun.
Better early
pun
than
intended.
late.
Gun. Crimestoppers.
That was good, Brian.
What?
Jump the gun.
That's okay.
Reported. P3 tips. You will remain anonymous.
I don't even know why.
Brian goes, I can't.
I don't know why I come into work. That's well, I come in because there's crawfish this afternoon. Hey, you coming?
I saw the tent set up.
Yeah.
I didn't get an invite. So,
no, you just did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I may be here.
3:00. Yeah. Don Coppola's in for Crimestoppers. About this time every week, we set out to see if we can catch some fugitives. Who are we looking for today?
Well, listen, we have a list, but let's start off with our Crimestoppers Facebook page, Capital Region Crimestoppers.
Yes.
Baton Rouge police are attempting to identify an armed robbery suspect. They believe this robbery occurred February 25th around 9 p.m. in the 2400 block of Weldwood Drive. The subject was armed with a a firearm, approached the victim, robbed the victim before forcing the victim into the vehicle that the suspect was occupying, drove the victim around to several ATMs throughout the city, having the victim withdraw money from accounts. So there's some very good pictures of this individual.
What am I missing here? Oh, that one. Okay.
That one, yeah.
Sorry, I scrolled past it already.
Very good pictures. Somebody's able to identify him, and we just need those individuals to pick up the phone and contact Crimestoppers at 344-7867 or go to the P3 Tips app where either way you will remain anonymous. And if your information leads to the identity and later the arrest of, once investigators get a warrant issued, you are eligible for a cash reward.
So yeah, really good pictures over here, especially that bottom right one. Well, on mobile they look different, but on the laptop here, this armed robbery suspect wearing a hoodie in all four pictures. There's what is he? He's in his car here.
Looks like he's in his car, pointing what appears to be possibly at that firearm or something.
I mean, it's like he's pointing the firearm directly below the camera. That's incredible.
It's a great shot, and you know, these individuals, there's cameras everywhere, so it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when somebody is able to identify you, and justice will be served.
So I've got a question for you. I've always been meaning to ask. When you see press releases from the police department or sheriff's office or whatever, they'll always say, and it says it right here, investigators believe this individual is connected to an armed robbery that occurred February 25th at approximately 9 p.m. in the 2400 block of Weldwood Drive. But they never say the business or the actual location. They always narrow it down a block.
Well,
why is that?
And sometimes you don't want to put the business out. Okay. As far as if it's a residential street, you don't want to put the exact address for any type of retaliation or just not to point it out exactly. You know, it happened in this area, or it happened at a business in this area. So it's really situational based, but you don't want to put a business out on blast.
Well, the reason I ask is, like, if this was the suspect armed with a pistol approached the victim and robbed him before forcing the victim into a vehicle. Suspect then transported the victim to multiple ATM locations. So my assumption is this is connected to a bank. And now that's an assumption. I could be wrong about that. And that's why I asked the question, is because you don't want to put a business on blast. I get that. But when you're looking for tips, I would want to know, like, if this was, and it's definitely not, but if it was like a Popeyes or something, I'm like, oh yeah, I went to Popeyes. Like, it just, I'm looking for more ways to trigger the memory.
And there's different ATMs outside of financial institutions, correct?
Right.
So, but also, we don't know the information that investigators have.
Sure.
So
yeah.
If someone comes and says, well, hey, I saw a guy at this location, as you mentioned, the Popeyes, I was in the drive-thru and I saw somebody that looked like that. Well, that's good information. That's a good tip.
By the way, I only say Popeyes because I've been craving Popeyes for about a week and a half.
Well, and I'm just
now.
Going by what
like
you're
a
saying.
week and a half now, Don.
But now you
Good
mentioned
Lord.
Popeyes, and I can picture the biscuits. So thanks, Brian. So we want to keep it vague, and sometimes investigators were like, no, get more specific. We want this out. And sometimes they just want that information. So people can call and say, well, yes, I saw at this location, this occurred, this happened. And then that way they can use investigative measures.
And by the way, I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to tell somebody how to do their job.
No,
I'm
not
asking
at
what's
all.
behind the curtain
And
on
listen,
that.
it's a good question, because I'm sure people have wondered, why not just say, the ABC store or whatnot.
Right.
And that's the reason.
Well, and the part two of that is, like, where the hell is Weldwood Drive? It's off Millerville, by the way. Off Millerville, just south of the interstate. So,
So yeah,
I would check out the Crimestoppers Facebook page.
Oh, it's incredible. There's so much information and so many individuals that we are looking to identify or looking for their whereabouts to apprehend.
Yeah.
So moving on, Baton Rouge police are searching for Curtis Randall, 34 years old, for the charge of felony theft. You know, Brian, it's you lose a loved one, you lose parents, and it's devastating. Well, in this case, the victim contacted Randall as far as completing the making of a headstone for their parents. Okay. So the business was conducted, money was transferred. Well, no headstone comes out of this. The victim tries to contact Randall several occasions, unable to get him. He's not picking up the phone, just disappears.
Randall was supposed to make the headstone?
Randall was supposed to make the headstone. So anyone with the information on the whereabouts of Curtis Randall, contact Crimestoppers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, you don't just do that.
No, especially, I mean, you don't do that in general, but I mean, here you have a family that is looking to honor their parents, nice headstone, and
that's like the
to
worst
have-
of the
oh,
worst, man. That because you're at a time and you're at a time and place where emotionally you're not there.
You're not there.
Physically, mentally, you are so exhausted,
and you're trying to do the right thing,
right?
Then you have something like this. Kahim Diggs, 34 years old, also wanted by the Baton Rouge Police Department on simple criminal damage to property, cruelty to juveniles, domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment. Here's
got one every
domestic
week.
Abuse, one
Got
every week.
domestic abuse every single week.
You know, it seems like it's just getting more and more. And let's remind the listeners that domestic violence just isn't the physical. You know, it could be the mental. If you notice any friends or coworkers, relatives that just maybe not acting themselves, you know, maybe sit down and ask those questions and make sure everything is okay. And if not, contact the proper authorities to get help for those individuals.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hate that it's like a record on repeat. But it's the same message every single week, and it does need to be repeated, though.
It does need to be repeated, and you know, people may think that, oh well, it doesn't affect me. Well, until it does affect you,
correct,
or someone you're close to, or a coworker. So, just be mindful of that.
Of course, yes. What else are we looking for here?
Kelser Mack, also wanted by the Baton Rouge Police Department, 22 years old, on charges of violation of protective orders and simple assault.
Okay.
Here we are again.
Well, I mean, this assault is simple, though.
Well, you know, it is. But the victim in this case did take the steps to file a protective order.
Right.
Not that a piece of paper is going to stop anything from happening. You still have to stay vigilant.
Sure.
But at least this is something that was detected. Reports were made. These orders were filed. So yeah, anyone with information on Kelser Mack, 22 years old, or anybody else you may have. I mean, we cover 9 parishes, Brian. All the municipalities within those parishes.
Yep.
So if there's any information you have, pick up the phone, give us a call.
344-STOP is the phone number. 344-STOP. Of course, the P3 Tips app is there for you. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I downloaded the P3 Tips app about 5 years ago.
And still haven't
used it.
But you have it.
I know.
Just in case.
Yeah. Well, there was that was it about 3 months ago. I had it out and ready, but the thing that I was looking for, it wasn't what I thought it was. So
well,
I backed
you
off.
may need it today at the Crawfish Bowl.
Well, I might.
You never know.
If you're running amok.
Hey,
I will turn you in. He is Don Coppola. We do Crimestoppers about this time every single week. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. 750 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. We are due up for, time to check your money now.
Nice cut, bro.
What?
Nice cut.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
How are you, sir?
Checked my money before I came in.
Have a good day.
You
Thanks so
too.
much.
Always. You do the same.
Bye, Don.
Anything else? You good?
Good.
I need some help. Have a good day, sir.
Likewise.
Oh. I gotta go record the thing that I'm playing back in the last segment. I was over there at the Capitol yesterday, watching the House for a little while. No, oh God, no. I was watching Lauren Ventrella take a bite out of Denise's ass and then go back for seconds. I'm gonna name yourself to the Breck board. Shut up.
You should have seen the text message that I sent to Lauren yesterday.
Yeah.
In the middle of that debate, there's that right here. Lauren Ventrella. So why don't you propose an amendment to add everyone?
And she did.
Like, I mean, propose it. Like, if she would have,
Oh, I think she asked. No, she asked, would you
made
be
the
open to
comment.
it? Yeah.
But I was like, just file an amendment to add every member of the damn delegation to the board.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm like, you want to kill the bill with some bullshit? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody would be like, yeah, we'll put everybody.
But she was saying like nobody else from Baton Rouge was in there. I thought Dixon was in there, but he didn't vote.
The moment Dixon was not in the room, he had gone off to do something.
I literally just watched him walk in 10 minutes before that, so I guess he went out a different door.
Yeah, because I look back too, because I'm like, that's his whole debacle. They must have waited for him to be out the window on that bill.
Probably, but yeah, and I know Barbara was out because when I walked, because I was watching in the hallway outside. I was waiting on Mark Wright's bill for Justin McLeese because I grew up with Tara McLeese. So, so I was out in the hall watching her on the TV out there, and Lauren was impressive.
Lauren can get it when she needs to get it.
She can run the whole, Fox News hot mess on one hand.
Yes.
But when she's zoned in.
No, I was just about to say there's two extremes with her.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the quirky cheerleader hot mess Lauren, and sometimes you get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't ever get the second one because I just hang around.
That was to get the hell out of the way. So let me go start the audio on this.
We got coffee, water.
I got me some water. Thank you, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, yeah, we'll talk about your stuff for sure. We might have two guests at 8:05.
Jay Hover and Kenny Neal. Which here. Anytime. $7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got a stacked up third hour, y'all. We're talking Baton Rouge Blues Fest. We're talking with State Representative Roger Wilder. We're going to be fighting human trafficking. That's all coming up next hour. So right now, let's dive in to this day in history. What you got, Breland?
This is such a depressing week.
I told you it's tragedy
should've
week. Well, I told Cade back on Monday. So it's tragedy week.
It is. It's
The 14th and the 15th are the same tragedies on repeat.
I know.
The 14th, Lincoln got shot. The Titanic hit the iceberg.
Yeah.
The 15th, Lincoln dies. The Titanic sinks. Now
Oh,
today,
my gosh.
we fast forward to today, and
Today, going all the way ahead to the year 2007, before we go back, the Virginia Tech shooting becomes the deadliest school
Correct.
shooting in U.S. history. 32 victims. Oh, my God.
Yep.
All right, going all the way back to 1862, slavery is abolished in Washington, D.C. with the compensated a man. You know what? Today is not my day. We're just going to say slavery was abolished in D.C. on this day.
Emancipation Proclamation,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. I just don't have it together today.
I understand.
All right, 1964, the Rolling Stones is released in the U.S., launching the band's American Breakthrough. I love them. I love them. All right, 1972, Apollo 16 launches. NASA sends astronauts back to the moon, not on the bad side, but the moon for the 5th crewed landing mission. This one focused heavily on collecting lunar rock samples.
Yay!
And then
Moon rocks.
Yeah, and then fast forward to today with
See,
Artemis
they didn't
Artemis
get any
2.
rocks. Artemis didn't get any rocks. They didn't land.
I know, they just
It
flew
was a
by.
little drive-by.
Little drive-by for you. In 2003, Michael Jordan plays his final game of his NBA career.
Wow.
With a standing ovation at the end.
I would imagine so.
Yep. In the year 2020, 22 million Americans have filed for unemployment in 4 weeks. 5.2 million in the last week, wiping out 9.5 years of job gains.
Good
Wow. I know. Yep, all due to COVID. It's just crazy. What else you got?
As far as this day is concerned?
Yep.
Nothing yet.
All right.
I was working on some notes, so
All right.
sorry.
Notable birthdays: Charlie Chapman,
Uh-huh.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Yep.
Selena Quintella.
Okay.
Yep, Akon, Martin Lawrence.
Akon?
Yep, Akon, 1973.
All right.
That's crazy. I didn't realize he was that old.
Akon's that old. Akon's older than me.
I guess so.
I was born in 76.
That's crazy.
So, wow. All right.
Chance the Rapper has a birthday today. Bill Belichick has a birthday today.
Wow.
I
All right.
know. Tons of birthdays. All right. Let's.
Oh, hey, I know what I had for this day in history. I finally dug it back up again. This day in 1962, Walter Cronkite took to the desk.
Oh.
He became the anchor of CBS Evening News today.
Okay. Notable deaths. I don't really have anything. Do you have anything that stood out?
Well, I had 3 more birthdays for you.
Okay.
Dusty Springfield, Pope Benedict XVI, and Ellis Marcellus Sr.
Okay.
So the patriarch of the Marcellus clan down in New Orleans. Did you have Martin Lawrence on birthdays too?
I did.
Okay.
I had Martin Lawrence.
You're blowing through them pretty quick because you had a whole lot. There was a stack of them.
I know.
As far as deaths are concerned, no, I did not have any.
Okay. Today's day, International Documentary Day. That's boring. Boo.
Yeah, I got Eggs Benedict Day.
Ooh, let's go with
How
that
about
one.
that? We can roll with Eggs Benedict Day?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, hollandaise sauce for your Thursday.
Love it.
Okay. That is this day in history. We got just a quick second before we hit news at the top of the hour. Hopefully enough time for me to remind you that Talk 107.3 is proud to support a Baton Rouge family and an 11-year-old St. Jude patient named Kate who's searching for a life-saving bone marrow match. Join Team Kate for a bone marrow donor drive on LSU's campus 1 week from today, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Quad and Parade grounds. I'll be doing my show from out there. our sister stations will have their shows out there as well for Team Kate. All right.
Hey, Kenny, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm Bree. Now, you guys interviewing our thing with Brian? Yes, yep.
Good. So we got you in the right spot.
Hey, Kenny, can you see Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
Is Jay right behind you?
Yeah, Jay, he said.
Well, we can do this without him. That's fine.
I know. Do you need a water or anything?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay.
Jeez.
So I'll leave this one. You get there. I'll leave this one open for Jay.
And you can also we can also mention that I'm getting inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in Memphis.
No kidding.
Yeah, May the 6th.
Wow.
So we're going down in history.
I love it.
Putting Baton Rouge on the map.
Damn right.
Me and Marsha Ball is the only two Louisiana artists.
Turn that way too to the right.
And this is the first year that we got 95% of homegrown artists at the festival.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I booked all the local. I thought that would pull the community together, you know?
Yeah.
And having all the locals and they get their families out, and we should have a packed house.
Good. Good. It's growing every year. You know, it's yet to show, a cap or a ceiling. It keeps.
That's what we want.
Yeah, it's a great event and
I know.
keeps plugging. What?
Oh, I thought you.
No, I was listening for the door.
Hey man, I'm in the middle of the interview. No, I'm just kidding. I'm upstairs. Okay. All right.
Checking on your money this morning, the U.S. and Iran are said to be considering a 2-week ceasefire extension. Stop keepers are on the rise. Is that Jay Hoover?
Yes.
What you say, sir?
Sorry about that, guys.
You're all right.
Train on the damn track.
All right, man.
Hi.
Know how that go.
I'm good.
Brother.
How's that baby,
doing well?
Jay?
Good. Thank you.
So off topic from this.
Sure.
Yeah. They're emailing me. Megan hadn't gotten back with them. She says you're handling.
I bit off more than I can chew, I will say.
But like they need to hear something like today.
Okay.
So what do we need? Because I don't do this. I walked in, took a big swing to get them, and
Understood. Man, look, between all this stuff, Blues Fest, live at 5 tomorrow.
Great. Yes, that we can do, but it doesn't have a shower in it.
That's fine.
And I think anybody that's seen Fred perform knows that man needs a shower. I say that with nothing but love. He puts a lot of sweat equity into his show.
Well, of course, I said I would help. I'm traveling next week for a show. I got to work in the best of Georgia.
Okay.
So I'm all over the place, man.
All right, well, let me get like something from you that I can get back to them with, and then I'll pull it back into me and Megan from there.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But you know this world a lot better than I do.
A little bit.
A little bit?
You don't know anything.
You know how to manage multiples at a time.
Multitask, huh?
How you doing?
Man, it's all good. Getting gigs, canceling gigs. You get
Ups and downs all around.
Man, yeah, you get a $5,000 offer, and then the next day you get a 20. And then you try to figure out, damn, I just told them I'll take the 5. Now how I tell them I don't want it. Yeah.
Brian, scoot over a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's cutting Kenny out the shot.
No, can't do that.
There you go.
806. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Brian here with you, Breland producing, starting off your 8 o'clock hour at 68 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. Is it time for your IT to do a 180? Visit 180pros.com. Coming up this hour, State Representative Roger Wilder going to join us in our next segment. We're going to talk with Igniting Hope at 8:35, but we are starting things off the right way for this hour. We have an absolute legend in the studio. We've got Kenny Neal with us. We've got Jay Hover from the Baton Rouge Blues Fest. Jay, I love you coming in, but I mean,
hey,
the man's here. The man is here.
Taking no shot here.
Baton Rouge Blues Fest coming up April 17th and 18th. Before we get to Kenny, let's let you set the table here. What can folks expect?
Sure, absolutely. Kicking off tomorrow with Live After 5 to 8 p.m. I got Gary Burnside, headlining.
Mm-hmm.
That's the son of the legendary R.L. Burnside, of course, out of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Rolling right into Saturday, 5 stages, 30-plus bands. Kenny here, of course, headlining and hosting the Blues Jams in the night.
All right, Kenny, welcome aboard, man. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, man, it's always good to come back.
I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This is home.
Yeah,
home.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we here at Guarantee, we take a little rotation when we're emceeing Live After 5. And I say this, I don't say this because you're sitting in front of me. I say this because I'm still taken aback by it. The last time I emceed Live After 5 and you were the talent, I have never seen a better connection between artist and audience than when you were performing. I don't know if that's an intentional thing. I don't know if it's just part of the music. But when you are putting on a show, you are an absolute showman. How do you work that connection with an audience?
Well, I just like to connect with my audience, and I feed off of their vibes.
Yeah.
So when I'm getting that positive energy, I just give it back to them, and we become one.
Yeah.
And I do songs that they can sing along with me, and so everybody feel a part of the show.
And it sells. It's amazing the level of how much that actually delivers, because it takes the music to another level.
Yeah,
I mean, there's more than just the actual acumen of playing an instrument and getting a song out there. When you bring emotion into it, when you trigger everything from love to memories, it's awesome.
Exactly, man. I get that from my dad, Rayful Neal. When I would play with him as a kid. And he would just make the audience feel like everybody was his favorite because he would call their name out and give them a shout out, and it's just a lot of love there.
Absolutely. Baton Rouge Blues Fest. Walk me through who are the few of the acts we're going to see.
Well, this year, probably one of our first years that we have over 95% of the local artists, which is we'll get a chance to show our homegrown talent.
Love that.
And I got that idea from, just listening to the musicians say, hey, I'd like to get on the Blues Fest. But a lot for our tourists who come in to Louisiana to see what we have to offer. And, like when you go, the tourists come here and go to Lafayette,
right?
They expect that Zydeco music. So I want them to come here and get that swamp blues.
Love that. Give me a description of what swamp, for those unfamiliar, what swamp blues
Well,
is.
our swamp blues, because we are located in Baton Rouge, right south of us, we got New Orleans. We got the jazz, the ragtime, the funk. And then west of us, we got the Zydeco, the Cajun. And then north of us, we had a lot of the musicians come in from Mississippi, the Delta, down in this area.
Right.
So it's just a big gumbo mix of different cultures of music. And
So when you take that Mississippi Delta, that's more of the what you would hear when you think blues. That's blues.
Right.
This is more of a melding of different genres mixing in.
Yeah, so that combination just give us a whole different vibe from the Delta blues, the Chicago blues.
Yeah.
When you hear that Louisiana style coming from Slim Harpo, Lazy Lester, all of these old guys like that who recorded up in Ville Platte back in them days in the 50s, they had their own style. And I like to preserve that.
Kenny Neal, Jay Hover in studio with us, talking about the upcoming Baton Rouge Blues Festival, April 17th and 18th downtown. I would say right in the same place as Live After 5, but you got to broaden this out because y'all are up to 5 stages now.
That's exactly right. Actually, utilizing the Manship Theater this year is one of our main stages. Watermark stage outside of the Watermark Hotel, of course. Main stage at Galvez Plaza. Then we got the Rayful Neal stage right there at North Boulevard, facing up Lafayette Street. Kids kicking off the front porch stage out in front of the library. So,
and my grandson is in that band.
I love it. I love it.
Very nice. By the way, brblues.org, brblues.org. If you want to learn more about it, they got the full lineup over there. Way too many bands, way too many talents, way too many performers for us to run through in this segment. So I'll send you to brblues.org for further research on that. You talk about the locations here. I can't help but recognize that this is expanding, both in amount of acts, but geographically too.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to showcase the Manship Theater, one of the best rooms here in town. So we're hoping kind of create a natural flow for people to hit the Watermark Hotel, go through the Shaw Center, pop in there, then make their way out to Lafayette Park and catch that stage too. So all music all the time this weekend's going to be great. Thank you.
Kenny, we'll come back around to you, when it comes to like all the talents and all the acts that are going to be out there, how much do you put a personal touch on like working with Jay to make sure that we're staying true to the city?
I've been going for months, and it's all donating my time to it because it's so special. And it's something that we really need to keep afloat. So I'm dedicated to the music and the culture, and also helping the younger generations. Like, I think about when I was starting and the people that helped me and got my career off the ground. I just want to give back to my community.
You bring up a very good point of conversation right there, because when we talk about live music, when we talk about real music, when we talk about artists playing music, that seems to diminish every year. It's a little bit less. So how difficult is that struggle to make sure that the pure product is still a thing?
Well, that's just keeping in touch with the locals. For some reason, I done developed a name around here as Uncle. I'm Uncle Kenny to all of the musicians. And when I moved back from Palo Alto, California here, I decided to move back home. I opened up a studio here, and I make it available for the kids that can't afford to pay the price to go in the studio. Right. So they all come to Neilville, and I open up the studio to them.
Very, very cool stuff. We got about 3 minutes left. Kenny Neal, Jay Hover in with us. Kenny, I'm gonna get back to you because you dropped some news on me during the break there that we got to share on the air. But before that, Jay, what's a BFF?
BFF, that's our VIP experience. $200 for the weekend, complimentary food and drink. 3 BFF experiences spread across the festival grounds. So help support the fest, this great organization. So as Kenny said, we can keep this thing afloat and sustainable for a long time.
Exactly.
Outside of that, what else do folks need to know other than just being there?
Yeah, show up, bring your kids, kid friendly, of course. Outside the BFF experience, this is a free festival, quote unquote. But come out. We have great food options, some art vendors, kids zone at the Old State Capitol. So all types of stuff to do. Friday, Saturday. Love to see you out.
Friday and Saturday, downtown Baton Rouge. If you're just at North Boulevard Town Square, you can pretty much navigate everything is at kind of the center point right there to point you in a couple different directions. Before we get you out of here, though, we are looking at about 3 weeks away from a pretty big day for our own Kenny Neal. Tell us what's coming up.
Oh, I'm going to be inducted into the Blues Music Hall of Fame in Memphis, Tennessee on the 6th of May. So we're going to put
so good. I know.
Rouge.
Bring that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's very easy to hear that and be like, oh, that's cool. But when you mentioned to me earlier, I would have just assumed there would have been more Baton Rouge names in there.
Me and Marshall Ball.
Right.
Was the only two from
That's
the
it.
Louisiana state.
That's
year.
it. I know.
It.
When you
Yeah.
think about the names from this state, when you think about the you know, in other forms and fashions, we say we're punching out of our weight class. No, when it comes to music, we are the weight class, and that's shit. It's Kenny Neal and Marshall Ball.
And I might be able to bridge that because once I get in there, I'm gonna let them know what we have to offer here.
Dropping some advocacy.
And also, before we finish, I'd like to say tonight at 6:30, I would be at the library with Maxine Crump and myself and Chris Thomas King, and we're going to talk about the older generation of the musician, his dad Tabby Thomas, and my dad Rayful as a kid growing up.
Very cool stuff. Which library?
Downtown
Library tonight, 6:30. That sounds fantastic.
Yes.
A great little, I mean, if nothing else, a little walk through Baton Rouge history as well. I mean, the music's going to rule the day, but I go off on a soapbox how we don't take care of our own history around here.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate who we are enough.
So we're going to share it tonight.
Very, very awesome stuff. He is Jay Hover. He is Kenny Neal. Baton Rouge Blues Fest coming up this weekend. Hit up brblues.org. Learn more about being a BFF at brblues.org. Get the full lineup for all 5 stages as it's going down this weekend. Thank you all so much for a couple minutes.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Quick break, come back. We dive back inside the legislative session. State Representative Roger Wilder's with us next. That was awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
cool, man. Look, I'll look back to my
just two of
emails
us
and at least
from
I'll pick up the
Louisiana.
phone and probably call the tour manager.
That's right, man. So I got to bring it to their attention.
I know when you
So
when you
if you
accept
need-
your
if
awards,
you
they
don't
put
have
a
his
call
number,
with y'all.
That's okay. What's
But,
going on
just
around
to
here?
touch base with them and be like, you're covered.
Okay.
We promise you're covered.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have a last minute like flake.
Flyer. Of course. No, look, I'll take care of it. I appreciate it. And thank you as always for this. See you this weekend or what?
No. I've got 2 DJ gigs on Saturday. I'm DJing Kidney Walk in the morning and a wedding in Covington. So yeah, completely.
Right on, buddy. It's all good, man.
I might come out Friday.
Yeah, come check it out.
For Live After 5.
Yeah, last week was crazy, huh?
So how many? I'm guessing 8,000.
Funny you say that. DDD pinged it at 8.8.
Damn, I was close.
That's good guess.
I mean, well, that's from North Boulevard all the way to the River Center.
That's crazy.
Michael Foster Project last Friday.
I'll be there next Friday. Scotty Mac.
Congratulations on the big news. Oh,
I think you do that already.
So good.
You don't know shit. Okay.
All right, guys. Love y'all.
Bye.
He's awesome. You know, he's terrible too, right?
I didn't know. Yeah, I've seen Jay at the pool. Yeah. He grabbed me one time.
Feed me. I'll never forget you.
That's well, I mean, that was your motto with my kids, so
Free smoothie from Uncle Smoothie.
that's right. Oh, you pump that back up.
There we go.
All right. Went to the
Check. That good?
Acadiana crawfish boil yesterday.
Where at?
Pentagon Barracks.
Oh, we're back there. Yeah, I didn't make that. I had to go somewhere.
And then I went over to Iberville from there. I'm like, damn, I did this backwards. Should have done the clean hands ones first. 8:35. Yep, we got you. I was like, yeah, did this backwards. Should have gone with the Iberville first, but I figured the Iberville party would be cranking up in the.
It's too much going on. You can't do it all.
No, I know. But I've been doing probably 3 of them a week since the legislative session.
Heck yeah.
40's got to be going everywhere.
Look, get on.
But and look, I'm like, I bring someone from sales every time because there's contacts to be made. Obviously, nobody's selling and nobody's, it's not that you're not like.
No, but your content, content and ratings is what makes the sales.
My content is stronger from going.
Just being around that environment though gives you the ability to hear an oversight conversation. You're like, ooh,
right,
get it.
Yeah, Josh Carlson came in yesterday.
I love Josh.
Talking about what I've dubbed his mall cop bill, the Paul Blart mall cop bill.
You do that to me, I'm leaving.
No, we had a fun time going back and forth over that one yesterday. And he's like, come to the crawfish bowl. So 819 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to dive back into the legislative session. We have State Representative Roger Wilder in from Denham Springs. How are you, sir?
Doing great this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing very well as well. Before we get into your bills, which we do need to get into some of your bills, before we get into what you're working on, give me a quick, midway report card here. We're about midway through. We're 6 weeks in. Ish, right? But how are things looking at this time around?
It's much more mild this session. It's last session we had a lot of insurance bills rolling around and just a lot of moving parts. And this session so far, to me at least, it's been a little calmer.
So is this a matter of the governor not pushing a heavy agenda so everybody who submitted bills knows what pool you're swimming in?
I think maybe to a degree, but I think last year for the insurance stuff, I mean, when we got into session in last spring, we had already met the previous fall. The insurance committee had 7-8 times, the House Insurance Committee. So we had some meetings to discuss. So we kind of had our momentum, which we put a lot on the table. I think the governor still has his bills and his agenda, but I don't think it's been conflictual in any way.
Well, stepping away from insurance. There's some insurance bills that just aren't going to be heard this time around, which can be a point of frustration, or they haven't been heard yet. Let me just put it that way. But the clock does tick quickly.
Yeah, there's definitely a clock.
Yeah, so it's the level of optimism diminishes at the same pace that clock ticks. So, but when you subtract that back out of it, when you have things like workforce being a priority, these are things that everyone gets on board with. These are things that everybody can get behind. And I feel like that momentum spills over into other topics as well, where you have a want to row in the same direction.
Yeah. And that may be what it is. I mean, may have some synergies due to what the subject matter is this term because, this session, I should say, because the workforce development is crucial with respect to the business development coming into the state, all over the state. So we're definitely all lined up to get a workforce.
Well, and it's twofold. And I never miss the opportunity to remind folks that it's twofold. Number one, the people who live here should be fully trained to get the jobs that are coming here. But the flip side of that is we've lost a lot of people over the last generation and a half.
That's twofold.
It's time to start bringing folks home as well. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a good reason to say come back because we've got the jobs that you may have left that we couldn't have. So we got to do it two ways. We have to absolutely develop our own internal in-state workforce, but then it also gives you a marketing opportunity to go out and say, hey, maybe we bring some of our kids and grandkids back.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
that's not cliche either. That's the goal. And I think everybody's around that concept of either keeping the migration to turn from outward to inward to our state.
Yes. Yeah. Well, here's the way I put it. And I know this is lofty. I want our 7th congressional district back.
No, that's not lofty. That's economies of scale. That it sounds like a magic pill, but it's not. That fixes so many small problems we have because take a business. When you have a high volume location, it runs better. When you have a smaller, low volume location, your expenses are higher. Your challenges are more difficult because you don't have the economies of scale. We could bring in another 500,000 people into our state. I mean, that's all paying into an insurance pool. That's all paying into, all these different, elements that are strapped because we're losing population.
Yes. Now, if we were to add a 7th district, we can jack up a map even harder. So
no comment.
We got State Representative Roger Wilder in with us. Let's talk a little bit about what you're working on. What are some of the bills that you're pushing?
Well, you mentioned this session, and for me at least, I've learned a lot in the past to be good at a few things, and I don't necessarily want to run 1,000 bills. I've only got 2 major things I'm focusing on this session. One of them is revolving around property taxes. I think everybody in our state's looking for some relief on property taxes, and sometimes the relief is right here, and I'll explain in a minute. It's in our Constitution. So I have a constitutional amendment proposed to change how we do our property taxes.
This is 521?
521 and 570, yes. It's a companion bill with 521. And then I have another bill that Attorney General asked me to carry with respect to district attorneys recusing themselves in court. So I'll go over both of these if you want.
No, absolutely. Let's start with 521 because this one I think is going to hit home to everybody who looks at their property taxes and sees millage after millage after millage constantly getting maxed out.
Correct.
Whether they need it or not, it's getting maxed out.
Yeah, and the I don't know how long we have, but I'll try to do this as quick as I can. The analogy I would give you is that if you and I were creating, I said this in committee, create a fire district, and we go out and propose a 10 mils, that's a credit line that if the citizens vote on it, they're saying you can charge up to 10 mils for the next 10 years if you need it.
Right.
If you and I are putting a budget together and we're being fiduciary stewards, we might only need 6 mils. After we turn it in, it comes back. So that's great. We read a great budget, but reassessments by the Constitution have to happen every 4 years. So if the reassessment happened last year by the assessor, when they go out and look at the properties and they recalibrate every 4 years. So if the reassessment was last year, then year 1, we're running at 6 mils. Year 2, we run at 6 mils if we turn in the same budget. Year 3, but something happens in one of those 4 years between the reassessments. The Constitution mandates that we have to roll forward the entire way in order to keep the credit line that you gave me as a voting citizen.
Right.
So this use it or lose it mentality has your property taxes bumping up, because if we're at 6 mils for our fire department and we need a small little expense, we may vote to move it to 7. That's a tough vote to go ask for more money, and the board has to be 2/3. But it's easier, in my opinion, for these commissions and boards to sit back and go, well, if we want to ever have the money for an emergency, we got to roll forward.
Right.
So the Constitution mandates a millage grab. This bill seeks to change the Constitution and make it to where if you want to run 6 mils the whole time, that's perfect. And just like a credit card, when you have an emergency at some point, you can charge up,
right,
whether it's a flood or a hurricane. But basically on a 10-year cycle, twice, if not 3 times, this thing is being spiked to max just to maintain the ability to get what the voters already said we could have.
Right. When the flip side of that is, and just to be clear, if you dip down, you can go back up to what was originally approved.
It's like if you have a credit card in your pocket with $10,000 on it, you charge $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Typically, you pay it off, or maybe you revolve it 1 month. Would you keep your credit card if the bank came to you and said twice a year you have to max this card up to $10,000?
Absolutely not.
That's what the Constitution. I mean, this is layman's terms. The Constitution is forcing you to take the full credit line just so you can have access to it. This constitutional amendment change would say you don't have to roll forward. You don't have to overcharge your citizens. You don't have to overcharge a taxpayer just to keep that emergency line of credit if you need it.
Now, just to use as a hypothetical, and we're not going to stick to this, but you mentioned, like, say you're a fire district, and let's say a fire truck gets struck by lightning, and all of a sudden this fire district has to go back out and purchase a new fire truck. Bumping back up again is in the cards.
That's always in the cards. You can always max your credit card out if you want, but you don't have to.
State Representative Roger Wilder's in with us talking about a few of his bills. What was the other one you were?
243, House Bill 243.
Yes.
So that bill, essentially, it's a bill that the Attorney General asked if I could help with. This one was easy for me. It's real simple. If you're the judge in a case and I'm the DA and I say I want to recuse myself from the case, I don't want to try this case. All of a sudden, the judge gets to appoint the new trial attorney. And to me, that makes no sense because we're in a constitution where we have a separation of powers.
Right.
So the judicial branch doesn't have authority over the executive branch, in my opinion. Think Minnesota Keith Ellison.
Okay.
He doesn't want to prosecute anything. All he has to do is recuse himself. And the judge, if it was apples to apples in Minnesota, but that kind of a mindset, it gives nefarious opportunity, in my opinion, to where, you're the judge, I'm the DA, and neither one of us really want this prosecuted. I recuse myself. You can choose whoever you want to prosecute the case. This bill puts that purview under the AG. The Attorney General was elected as the chief executive of the state for law enforcement.
And she asked for this?
Yes.
That's going to add a lot to her plate.
Well, it just makes sure that there's no unintended consequences of playing games, I suppose.
What kind of support does that have? Because I could see where that would ruffle a few feathers. I'm in complete agreement with it, but I see where that would ruffle a few feathers.
For me, I took it because I believe it's a separation of powers. And I've talked to some attorneys. Oh, it's not that simple. I'm like, well, for common folk, it is. It's that simple for me. We haven't gone to committee yet. We're going to judiciary next Friday, I believe. Okay. So we'll see what kind of. I'm sure there's going to be some concerns.
State Representative Roger Wilder in with us. We've got the representative for. Oh, goodness gracious! We only got 1 more minute to go. In this last minute, give me the kind of the 10,000-foot view of where you think the back half of the session heads. What is going to kind of rise to the top and garner the most attention?
I mean, to be honest with you, I really couldn't tell you right now. Everything is, there's a lot of moving parts that are all like even keeled between workforce development and there's some reforms in New Orleans that may end up taking some center stage on some of those.
Judicial reform down in New Orleans.
Yeah, but those aren't my committee, so I'm not detailed on it till it gets to the House.
We've been hip deep in that argument so far, so I look forward to getting hip deep in that one again. Any disappointments yet?
No, I mean, this is my third year in. I'm still honored to sit in the seat and represent my district, but I'm learning and I'm just trying to be more efficient, and sometimes less is more.
No, absolutely. I wish everybody thought that way. You wouldn't have 1,700 bills to file through.
I'm not filing it, but I would love to see us have a cap on every session because then we write good things.
Wouldn't that be nice? State Representative Roger Wilder, always appreciate your time, and we'll get you back on soon.
Likewise, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you. It's 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. Here comes news, traffic, weather. We're talking human trafficking next.
News,
oh man, I was
traffic and weather, and then we're going to talk human traffic.
Yeah. No, any disappointments thus far? And I was asking you, probably should have put that on a better tee about your cheerleader bill.
Shit, don't even bring that. I didn't write that down.
That's
because I'm like,
that got shot down though, right?
Yeah, but I mean that would have taken you. If you have a whole nother segment, that would have been me being a straight layman's term saying, this is what I don't think people understand. We have I couldn't say this. We have cheer moms in the state more concerned about a stupid House concurrent resolution than they care about any legislation being written to affect their kids. Like, if you think about the dynamic, like what I saw happen in that building was, and like people kowtowed to a bunch of emails, which means if you just email us, it works.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, this is a fucking resolution. There's no teeth. So when I did the debate, I was like, listen, y'all kill it if you want. Do me the favor. I ain't got to go to Senate.
A resolution doesn't carry the weight of law anyway.
No, plus it's a private entity. All we were trying to do was get debate. LHSA heard it. They had a meeting.
Yeah.
People got buzzed about
So it did its job anyway.
Yeah, I can't control it.
That's good. No, that was raw meat for my chat. No, I threw that. Is cheer a sport? And same.
Well, I'm glad I could run the ratings up on that.
Yeah, I
just by
appreciate
filing
that.
a damn bill.
Yeah.
Which one you want me to do next year?
We'll put it right back out there again. By that time, everybody will have forgotten it. Just said it's true. The truth, it doesn't matter if cheer's a sport.
No, here's what I was asking.
Kids get hurt.
That's what I was asking.
That was the whole point.
And in the debate, like what I would have said if we'd have talked about it would have been, look, in the debate, I was very clear. Sanctioning a sport requires so many things, which makes sense for a sport.
Yeah.
Cheer and I don't care if you want to sanction it as a sport. We don't care about that. But there's 3 bullet points within that sanctioning, the 7 bullet points that matter. You have no safety oversight beyond somebody saying they did it.
Yeah.
My cheerleading coach in Denham, Amanda Ott, told me she was an LSU cheer. She was a Tiger cheerleader. She's like, look, I learned everything D1. She's like, but I guarantee you there's girls being thrown up. They're getting concussed. They're getting hurt. And I'm like, look, I don't want to be that guy, but let some cheerleader get paralyzed in the next 6 months, and I'm gonna have a lot of fools in the house looking bad.
That's the whole point of the bill. Is like bowlers have more safety protection than cheerleaders.
Yes, and the girl who brought the bill to my attention, her mom brought it to us because she got hit in the head in a dance routine on accident, and she was dizzy and concussed. And they were warming up before the football game or something. They go in the athletic training room to get her attention, and they're like, "You're not a sport. We can't deal with you."
Right.
It was like drawing a line. It was like stupid.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes you don't realize the crap you're going to get into by trying to help.
I get the point of the topic. I'm going to redirect it for entertainment purposes.
Hell yeah, you are. That's what you do, baby. Take care of you.
Throwing girls 15 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
What are we doing this weekend?
We're throwing teenage girls
15 feet up in the air.
You don't have my voice clip on that.
No, it's in the computer. I just got to go back and find it. It's labeled by number.
Anytime, dude. Holla if you need me.
Will do. Appreciate you, brother. He's so good. Come on in. Good morning.
How are y'all?
Awesome. How are you doing?
Good. Where you want me here?
Right there.
Perfect.
So, trying to find the email that gets us back to the top of the page rather than scrolling down through 100 replies.
I get it.
Sorry, one of my previous guests about 2 weeks ago
Got a little too excited.
Yeah, moved around a little too much.
I just I won't touch it. How about that? Gets intense in here, huh? People.
Sometimes. does everything have to happen in the spring? This is Friday night as well.
Yes. Yeah. What do you want to hear from me? Do you want me to?
Oh, we're going to talk about the whole
topic,
and then we'll get into the gala. But no, I want to talk about why Baton Rouge is a hot spot, what people should be on the lookout for. Real life trafficking is not the movie Taken.
Yep.
Thank God.
Taken white vans and.
Yeah, there's no there is no father of a daughter who can watch Taken and not just be scared for the rest of his effing life.
Right.
Because I do not have a particular set of skills.
I feel like you know some people that might.
I got a few.
Yeah, you got a few.
I got a guy.
Everyone's got to have a guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say all the time, I'm like, trafficking takes place in the context of a relationship. Yeah. Like, so.
Which is probably even more tragic.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
No, glad to. The previous governor had set up I don't know if it was a task force or a full-on division or whatever.
Yeah, a division. So I'm actually headed there after this morning. We have a commission advisory board meeting, so I get to sit on that advisory board.
Okay.
And so from that, a law was passed in Louisiana called Act 662 that funded what we do. So we're funded through that law. Senator Beth Mizell
wonderful
carried that law.
She came on when that was up. I remember.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Well, gosh, forever ago.
So
but
now
yeah,
I'm sitting here because of that. So we'll be
awesome.
3 years old in May. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And every opportunity I get to help Metanoia Manor. I know that's separate from y'all, but
we work with them a ton.
They're doing God's work.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Just
absolutely. Yeah. They're a great partner. We work with them a ton. So we serve a lot of their kids that live there. And so then we also refer a lot of our kids that we work with there because we're working with kids in foster care, detention, in their parents' home. So they're not always, going to like a residential placement. So we're working with those kids and then we work with them in Metanoia. So they're a great partner.
I need 60 seconds on the front end to borrow from you, though. I got a library to do. So give me a quick second before we get into it. Come on now. Advocacy Director. .837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to be talking about the Igniting Hope Gala coming up tomorrow night in just a little bit. I do need a quick second to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions. GuaranteeHealth.com is the website, GuaranteeHealth.com, if you want to check them out online. What is Guarantee Health Solutions? Well, here's the long and the short of it. If you work in a medical practice, if you work in, say, a specialized office, a general practitioner's office, if you're the family doctor, if you are running an urgent care, how's your patient relationship? Is it to a stellar point where your patients become raving fans online? Well, if not, we can get you there. Guarantee Health can get you there. They have a 4-pillar approach. Let me give you the one-word synopsis on each pillar: build, attract, deliver, and measure. Rachel Fricke is the president and founder of Guarantee Health Solutions. She started this whole program. She started this whole 4-pillar approach from a hospitality perspective. Taking care of who is there first is what you do, or is what they do over at Guarantee Health Solutions. If you want to learn more, visit GuaranteeHealth.com. GuaranteeHealth.com. Take your relationship with your patients, grow your business from there. GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, we are looking ahead to tomorrow night. The folks at Unbound, is it Unbound Now?
Unbound Now.
Unbound Now are bringing you the Igniting Hope Gala, second one out there, or the second annual, I should say. We have got Holly Tupper in with us, the advocacy director.
That's correct.
For Unbound Now. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
No, glad to have you on here. We'll get into the gala in just a minute, but I want to start by just completely zooming out. When we start talking human trafficking, I know people get redirected in a number of different, down a number of different paths. One of those paths is confusing trafficking with prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Totally two separate worlds.
Mm-hmm.
One of those paths is due to Hollywood as to how trafficking happens. It's not Liam Neeson and Taken. And another path is just completely turning a blind eye because of, it's like a completely different world until it, connects with your world. How did you first get involved with wanting to take this on and become the advocacy director for Unbound Now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I had a passion for vulnerable people. And so as I started to learn, like you said, about trafficking, I said, I have a responsibility to do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, that opened the door for me to start working in this space. And then when Louisiana passed Act 662 in 2022, I got to launch Unbound Now here in Louisiana.
Okay, so if we could rewind the clock real quick, that was Beth Meisel's bill. She was in studio talking about, she was on the phone talking about that bill as it was making its way through the legislative process. If I can completely just sidebar for a minute and derail the conversation, this is why we dig in on the legislative session. The work they do on the other side of downtown over there, they're not just shuffling papers. They're not just here to tax us. They're doing work that has real life application from time to time. There are real world benefits and repercussions from the work that gets done over there. I remember Senator Mizell talking about this bill, and now here we are putting it to good use. How has it gotten put to good use?
Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't be sitting here today without all of the work done at that level. And so last year we served over 350 kids, and 112 of those were in our long-term advocacy program. So we've seen just the impact of, so often, like you said, it's not the movie Taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, trafficking doesn't just happen in foreign countries. It happens in our backyard. And so often trafficking happens in the context of a relationship. And so we say, so does healing. Healing happens in the context of a relationship. And so what we get to do is walk alongside these youth who've been trafficked and help provide that support in their healing process.
How do we get the youth out of the trafficking?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So we work with law enforcement, the Department of Children and Family Services, hospitals. We're helping hopefully provide some of that education so they can then identify. And once they identify those victims, they're calling us, and we're working. Again, a part of that law is we have coordinated response to human trafficking. And so we're building relationship, getting connected to counseling resources so they can start that healing journey.
Holly Tupper's in with us talking about Igniting Hope Gala coming up tomorrow night, but we're talking more on the trafficking end, on the front end. So Holly, I set it up talking about what trafficking is not.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell me what it is?
Yeah, so trafficking is the use of force, fraud, or coercion in the exchange of either a commercial sex act or labor. And so we say here in Louisiana, actually, though, you don't have to have force, fraud, or coercion under the age of 21. So any exchange of sex for anything of worth or value is considered human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that use of force, fraud, or coercion. So what does that look like? That could say, if you don't do this, I am going to do X, Y, and Z. So using those things to force people to use their body or their work for profit.
Where do we see it the most? And I know there's a million different possible answers to this. So if you want to throw out more than one answer, feel free. But where do we see, how does it manifest itself?
Yeah, I think we talked about, I-10, I-12 and kind of what that brings into our region. But I also think we see a lot of familial trafficking. We see trafficking that's been generational, where parents have trafficked their kids who have then turned around and trafficked their kids. And so it's not just what you would think in some of those hotels or truck stops, but it's also happening in the home.
Give me a scenario of how it happens, because it's so unfathomable to most people.
Yeah.
So how does that unfold?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something we've seen, and I know we're having a lot of conversations about this in Louisiana, but online, where you have someone who pretends like they might be a peer age, they're using Roblox, Instagram, and they're starting to build that relationship and groom that child online, which then ends up turning into an in-person meeting, which ends up turning into some type of exploitation. And so there's just so many different avenues that trafficking can take place. It could be someone sitting at a bus stop and someone pulls up and says, hey, do you need a place to stay that's safe? Do you need a ride? Right. And so traffickers are looking for vulnerabilities to exploit, and that can be a wide range of things.
When it starts in the family, though, I don't know how you mentally or emotionally recover from that. you trust no one more than you trust your family.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. But I think that's where the relationship piece comes into play, because they haven't experienced what healthy, safe relationships look like. And so we say one trusted adult can change the trajectory of a kid's life. And we see it across the board, right? With coaches and teachers. And so trafficking, people who've experienced trafficking are the same way. And so that trusted adult who can model what healthy relationships, like the journey is long. It's hard.
I would imagine.
But we see the resiliency of these kids in incredible ways.
All right, talk about the 10-12 corridor for a little bit, because when you talk about the different ways that that people end up being trafficked, our natural interstate system puts them headed, east or west.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, it's connecting a lot of large cities. And so we see just that easy access, like you said. Trafficking is a business. And so they're looking for that easy access along that 10-12 corridor so they can connect to all those large cities.
We often hear about it when there's like a major event. I know when the Super Bowl was in town last year, we heard about it a lot, but it doesn't surround. That's just chasing something shiny.
Yeah, I would say, again, we see people come into town for large events. And again, and we talk about trafficking, supply and demand, and what that looks like. But yes, I mean, trafficking happens every single day. And the majority of the youth that we serve are Louisiana citizens, right?
Yeah.
Or from surrounding states.
And that's another crazy part to me, because if you're a Louisiana citizen and you're still in Louisiana, they're keeping that proximity just feels so awful.
Right.
Like it's somehow worse.
Right.
I don't know how it's worse, but it's somehow worse. All right, coming up tomorrow night, Igniting Hope Gala at the Renaissance Hotel. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have just the community come out tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Renaissance Hotel. We're raising awareness and support. I say all the time that we have a community responsibility to respond to trafficking. And so this is one of the ways that you can do that. We would love to have you come out tomorrow night.
You talk about raising awareness. Is this for the problem itself or for the road to recovery once someone's pulled back out again?
Yeah, this is the road to recovery. But I think what we always try to do is educate around what does trafficking look like. But yeah, we want to build partnerships. We want to build partners who can join us in this fight against trafficking in Louisiana.
I don't know that it's not curtailing itself as a problem. It seems to be sticking around, if not continually growing. So tomorrow night, Renaissance Hotel, Bluebonnet Boulevard. What do folks get when they buy a ticket?
So obviously there's going to be food. We have games in different ways. We're competitive here in Louisiana, so we've got some games to play, and but I'll have the opportunity to speak, and then we'll also hear from a survivor leader who will share a little bit of her story and her healing and redemption and what that has looked like in the work that she's now doing in the space.
Yeah, you're going to want to hear that story. I mean, that's just to hear it firsthand will put a completely different paint job on the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It really is different. We got about 2 minutes left with Holly Tupper from Unbound Now. You can learn more at unboundnow.org is the home base website right there. But I believe it sends you right to the Igniting Hope Gala page, right? So if you wanted to purchase tickets, that would be where to go. Tickets are, if I saw this right, a single ticket's $100. Correct. What else is on the table here?
Correct. $100. And then, because it's tomorrow night, we'll have those few tickets for remaining people who want to come. But again, looking to continue to build people who are engaged and passionate about human trafficking in our community and standing in the fight. And so we'd love for people to reach out if they have questions. We also have a ton of training on our website if people want to know more, training for educators, social workers, hospital, but also people who are in our community. So I think that, that call to action of what does that look like? Like be educated of how to identify.
Right. Yeah. What does it look like? Because it's one of those things where I think we, on a day-to-day basis, we don't see it, so we believe it's not there. Well, maybe it's more to the point we don't see it because it's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So changing the narrative on that front is unbelievably valuable. In the meanwhile, the event is tomorrow night at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. Tickets are available at unboundnow.org. Holly, thank you so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, absolutely. We got 30 seconds till we hit Your Money Now, which is enough time for me to remind you about the Dreams Come True Radiothon. getting down to the wire before things get started, y'all. Coming up on Monday, our 2026 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic will be here. First American Bank and Boudreaux's Electrical have each pledged to match your donation once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will help us get closer to that goal. Learn more at talk1073.com, and don't forget to Talk 1073 at the Baton Rouge Clinic, helping make dreams come true, starting Monday, April 20th. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna leave my cards here too.
Please.
Thank you so much. Yes, have a great day.
No, you do the
Appreciate
same.
it.
Thanks.
Thanks all.
And
Bye.
yeah, I'm gonna tell Chris thank you as well for
Okay.
putting you in here, because
Yeah.
it's one of those ones that I have 2 daughters,
Mhm.
so naturally I'm gonna
Like it's
learn.
close to home. Yeah.
Yeah, naturally I'm gonna learn, and then Father Bahi brought me in on some of the metanoia matter stuff. So
Yeah.
any chance we can use to
highlight and educate. I love
yeah, and yeah, I-12 at airline.
Mhm.
It just
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, for
It's-
sure. Well, thank you so
we'll
much
work
for
on it.
highlighting. Appreciate it.
Always
Y'all
glad
have
to
a
help.
great day.
You
Have
too.
a good event tomorrow. Thank you so much.
All right, do I want to do the Lauren Ventrella thing here?
You think you got enough time?
Let me go edit. See if I can edit and get it saved.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Insurance companies.
In today's folder, it's listed as Breck Bill. What's going on, y'all?
I think they had a rat that died. Because
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, it smells in the men's bathroom. It smells in our bathroom.
Gross.
I think they have a rat that died upstairs.
It's AdvancedAugust.com. That's AdvancedAugust.com.
I'm Ben Mulgrew of GIS Engineering. We serve industrial clients around the globe. Having a dedicated fiber network for internet is critical. That's why we rely on Red Business.
Get 6 months free of Red Business Services. Some restrictions apply.
You want to play this whole thing? Are we gonna have time?
It's 3.5 minutes.
We should. Yeah,
We should have time.
Just get into it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to know Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, Coastal to Better Bank, member FDIC.
What are you doing medicated to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medication,
Alcohol.
that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torres, pharmacist in Hundley. For over 30 years, I have supported informed decisions about your health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't
Howdy.
Hey. Oh. Give me back my son. I don't think it was this time around, but what Jim skipped over was somebody did that to Tiger Woods like 15 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it was much.
Hey, Kay, did Michelle tell you about our computer? Do we have an update? Because this thing's like about to die. Like not die.
So the guy, they've installed all the stuff in New Orleans, they've shipped it to Baton Rouge, and somebody's gonna call me whenever they get it in Baton Rouge, they'll come in and install. What's the latest with this one?
Maybe like politely.
Nudge them.
Yeah, can we nudge them a little bit?
And by politely, she means say, hey, motherfucker.
Because like, I know y'all. It was doing the like up the bit lock again, and I know, and then like it's slow, like the mouse is starting to get. I know. I'm like,
Wait, is that because the other mouse is still plugged in?
Like
Okay.
it's slow. I'm waiting for it to catch on fire. Okay.
Whenever y'all were having that problem where it was only playing on like recording on one channel, I just wiggled the sound card in the back and it went back to normal.
I love how we have to wiggle things.
So, yeah, I'll
Thanks,
find out.
Gabe. Thanks, Gabe. I love it. What happens if this one goes down too?
I'm out. We'll get back to it. No, come on in. No, come on in. We got to get here now. I need every second I can get. Bree Lynn, we got to get after it. We got to take you inside the legislative session yesterday. Representative C. Denise Marcel had HB 444 shot down in front of the full House. State Representative Lauren Ventrella took her to the woodshed when it came to questioning. This is going to be like the rest of the show. It's 3 minutes watching the sausage be made, but get a load of this. By the way, the nature of the bill, C. Denise Marcel essentially wanted to put herself on the Breck board with this bill. Here you go.
Rep. Ventrella for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is this the bill about the Breck board?
It is.
Rep. Marcel, I'm glad I'm glad that I walked in at the perfect time to ask you about this bill. What is the reason for not including seats from any other district in Baton Rouge or any other reps that have an interest or a position?
The premise behind this bill is to add the senator and the representative for which the main headquarters sits in, just like the Metropolitan Airport, where we have a state rep, I think it's Rep. Carpenter because it's in her district, and a senator that serves on that board as well. I followed the same path that they used.
Have you spoken with the city of Baton Rouge about this bill?
The city of Baton Rouge? Why would I speak to the city of Baton Rouge about it?
Because it's concerning a board that directly affects them.
Well, it directly affects my constituency. And so everybody knows that I filed the bill. No one reached out to me in opposition from the city. And I did meet with them on some other bills today. They didn't have a concern about this bill.
Okay, well, did you know that I've had some people reach out from the city regarding this bill?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay, and Rep. Marcel, do you think appointing yourself directly to a board, so if I'm understanding correctly, the bill specifically appoints you as a seat on the board, right?
It specifically appoints whoever is sitting in District 61. That could be me today and someone else tomorrow, just as the Metropolitan Airport does. It's the same premise. Representative Carpenter serves on it because it's in her district, and the senator for that district also serves on it.
Do you think that we should be in the business as representatives appointing ourselves to other boards ourselves?
I think that we're on a lot of boards in this building.
Do you have any other examples of times where we've appointed ourselves to other parish boards or municipal boards?
Well, I just gave you an example of the airport, and that's where they serve. They currently serve. I found it like that when I got here, and it is the same premise.
But they didn't directly appoint themselves to the boards, did they?
They have an appointment for
Lauren's
their
out
district.
for.
It's the same thing.
She's chewing her up.
And they can either serve. I think Representative Carpenter serves herself, or they can put an appointment.
But the difference is the sitting representative did not appoint themselves to the board at that time, right? And also there are other
whomever set up the board at that time, I would imagine that they were.
We got to cut it off right there because we're just straight up out of time. We might do this again. We might do this again tomorrow morning to play the rest of it. By the way, the bill fell short. It did not pass the full House. But Lauren Ventrella asking the right questions right there. How do you put yourself on a board? Oh, by the way, the airport's in one district. Breck is the whole parish wide. We're done for today. Moon's next. Hey, Facebook. Sorry, not sorry for the 3-minute long back and forth right there. That's so good. That was so good. It wouldn't be any better if it was dipped in ranch. That's how good that was. Anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Later on.